to know before enlist them in your hopeless war, 'cause glory doesn't need a reason, friend.
All right, is this thing on? This thing is on. Hey everybody, thanks for showing up. We're gonna try and put together a little 2-hour stream here, show you some Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, answer some questions, and yeah, have a little whiskey to go with it. But before we get started, I said there would be silly hats. So there's gonna be silly hats. Let's see here. Now I have 3 silly hat options. One of them isn't so silly. 2 are from my 9-year-old daughter. There would be a source of enduring shame to me for the rest of my life, probably. But you guys get to pick that. So we're gonna experiment. I'm gonna see if this poll actually does what it says it's gonna do. Let's give it a whirl. All right.
2 coins to pay or fare the rent.
Poll coming up. You have 3 hat options. You're going to be using hat 1, hat 2, or hat 3. Now, I'm not going to cheat. These are done in ascending alphabetical order, so regardless of what you pick, I'm going to wear it. All right, polls up. Let's see if this thing works. Hat 1, hat 2, or hat 3? So what you need to do to enter the poll, just type hat 1, hat 2, or hat 3 into the chat. Whichever one. They're coming in. 17 votes. 20 votes. I'm going to show you the hats when it's all done, in ascending order, and I'll wear the one that wins. Oh man, we just had an upset. Alright, I'm going to give it 10 seconds more. We're going to cut it off, and that's hat time. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. And the winner is hat 2. All right, that one's archived. Hat 2 wins. All right, I had 3 hats. Hat 1, F, is my old Flagship Studios cap. The only not silly option. Hat 2 was Hello Kitty. So this is what I gotta wear. And hat 3 was the squid. So Hello Kitty it is. I had to pre-filter these hats by things that I could cram over the top of these enormous headphones. There we go. Yeah, that works. It's good stuff. Only the most professional, and because I have to wear the Hello Kitty hat, I'm taking my first slug of whiskey now. Thank you all for your assistance. All right, let's switch to the actual game here. All right. So, Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. Here we are at the start of Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. Now, I did a sound test last week where I just wanted to make sure this worked, and I played for about 2 hours. And unfortunately for anybody who was here before, I'm kind of going to redo that. I'm going to fast track it a little bit. I'm going to start in casual mode, which basically means I get more stuff so we can get moving a little bit faster. But I am going to change things up as we go along. And I've got a separate save set up that's later in the game with another ship. And we'll take a brief look at things like mining and trading and stuff like that. Here we are at the title screen. This is the character that you're going to be playing in the game. In fact, why don't I go ahead, I'm going to start running the opening cinematic, because I can talk over that. You can watch that somewhere else. We got it on our website. It's on YouTube. Before we start, you can see that there's a couple different options when you make a game. Normal is the default. Basically, it's a little more old school than you might expect from normal. You basically start the game in a garbage truck with a laser and nothing else. And part of the kind of the classic privateer or elite experience is sort of clawing your way up from nothing. And so we wanted to preserve that. But for those of you who aren't interested in that, there's casual, which starts you with a good bit more stuff. A lot easier to get around when you begin the game with an afterburner, for instance. For more old school folks, we've got sim mode, where you still get flight assistance, but you don't get any aim assistance, and you're not allowed to play in third person. And for the ultimate old school folks, we've got actual old school mode, where there are no assists whatsoever, and it's first person. This is considerably harder. I'm going to be playing this with a gamepad, you can see. But we do have support for your full HOTAS setup, flight stick, using a little direct input stuff, or you can also play mouse and keyboard. This is kind of the way that I recommend you play. It's my favorite. All of us in the office like it the best, and having that force feedback is pretty great. These 2 analog sticks, super great. All right, let's get into it. Now, for once, I can actually see the chat because I set up an iPad in here, thankfully. This is the intro cinematic for the game. It was animated by Titmouse, an animation studio that currently does animation for the Venture Brothers. They did Metalocalypse. They did Big Mouth on Netflix, a ton of other stuff. They were really great to work with. And we wanted to start the game with kind of a lonely frontier, sort of cowboy bebop kind of vibe. Obviously, this is a very Western game. You start in the Texas solar system. Anyway, here at the beginning of the game, the main character shows up on the planet Lubbock. Her name is Juno Markev. She was actually in Rebel Galaxy, the other game that we made. She was considerably older in that, because this is a prequel. Here she's about 43. Her husband was killed. She had settled down out of a life of, crime and dubious pursuits, and was running a shipping company. But after her husband was murdered, she's tracking down the killer. This is who she thinks it is. You'll find out later that his name is Ruth. At any rate, she's pretty rusty. It's been a long time. Her gun jams. Things don't go particularly well. And this is how we start the game. 43 is weirdly specific. I mean, she's got to be unaged, right? Got to get into space, shoot some stuff. Sorry I'm talking over this, but you really can watch it somewhere else. Somebody asked what the name of that ship is. The one that she's flying is a Coyote, which does not last particularly long. Spoiler. What headset do I use? I'm not actually using a headset. I'm using Studio Monitor headphones. These are Beyerdynamic DT 770s. How many music tracks? Oh gosh, I feel like it's about 400. There's close to 24 hours of music in the game. I think these are 80 ohm. I can't see them. They're on my head. I forget. And now, after slogging her way into some podunk outpost on Lubbock, we begin the game proper.
Juno, I wasn't sure I'd ever...
If you played Rebel Galaxy, that's Orzu, who you met at the beginning of that game. He was an old acquaintance of hers, and now you're seeing them both a lot earlier in life.
Brace is dead, and I'm in the shit.
We have some swears. Sorry about that.
Accidental.
No.
So, who voices her? Juno is voiced by Lonnie Minella. You might know her as Adria the Witch in Diablo. I think she's Ivy in Soul Calibur. She's in so many games. She's awesome. This character is basically made for Lonnie. She's one of my favorite voice actresses. A friend of mine, I love working with her. So, Lonnie Manila.
I used to have a small waste transport operation in Texas. In-system ships. No jump drives. There might be one or two still in...
The aliens live a lot longer.
Right now, I'll take anything I can get, as long as my mother's not involved.
Aha! There's an old Pathfinder still in mothballs on Lubbock.
So, he gives you basically a garbage truck that's left over for an operation he used to have in the Texas system.
There's a package.
But of course, there's a little something you ought to do.
If you could see your way clear to bringing it to me in Nevada, we could consider ourselves square.
I can do that.
How did Orzu forget to speak English 30 years later? We love to retcon here, you know, seriously. Mostly I just didn't have time to voice all this stuff for the other game.
Entanglement with the law. You'll need to pick up the package on Nacogdoches.
Do I have a contact?
Richter Brust.
I'm gonna lose my lead on my target. You think you could ask around for me? His name is Ruth, but I guess he also goes by Ruthless. Big guy, lots of rings strung around his neck, dresses pretty fancy.
I'll see what I can do. I'll let you know what I found when you show up in Nevada.
Thanks, Orzu. See you soon. God.
And there's our garbage truck.
Just haul trash. It is trash. Better get to
Gravy
it.
at Games. Hi, Dave. All right, and here we are on Lubbock. So, because I started casual, I have a little more gear than I would otherwise have, so we're still going to go ahead and grab some stuff to do. So, we're going to head in here to the equipment dealer, Rusty's Ranch. And because I want to get moving a little faster than we did last time, I'm going to go ahead and... What do I want to put on here? What should I get? You know, I really prefer a torpedo launcher to a heat-seeking missile. I love dead-eyeing things with a torpedo. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to swap that out. Is there anything else we want to buy here? We don't have quite enough for countermeasures yet. But we're just going to go ahead and start off with something on the dashboard. I'm going to add the hula guy. For luck. There we go. Now on these stations, there's a variety of services. They're different from station to station. Obviously, there's an equipment bay, a ship dealer for buying new ships. We'll get a different ship later on in the stream. The commodities market, which we'll also talk about a little bit later. A mission board, which is where you get kind of all your side missions that aren't main story missions. So, along those lines, this is an open world game. There's a large, it's called the Dodge Sector, and it's made up of 39 different solar systems with about 70 different stations sprinkled between them. And you can kind of go out and do whatever you want, doing random missions or just pirating or trading or helping out the police, whatever you want to do. But there is also a main storyline that you can follow or dip away from if you don't want to, as well as some like branching side missions that kind of fork off of that as you meet different characters in the world. We'll go ahead and pick up something quick to do. Okay, a local delivery. We might as well drop by Austin. It's going to be some easy cash. Minefield cleanup. I want to do something with a little more danger to it. So why don't let's do something where we actually have to shoot somebody. And we'll just live on the edge a little bit. Go ahead and pick up a few things to do. Now also on these stations, you tend to have a bar. Most of them have a bar. The bars have also different activities and services depending on where they are. This one has an arcade game that I can play. I can play a game of 8-ball. You can wager when you do that. Some of the games actually have component wagers, so you can win a gun. In fact, we'll do that somewhere else maybe. We'll pick up that tracer when we head over to Nacogdoches. Let's see here. You can, of course, talk to bartenders.
Take a seat.
Just passing through.
Hey, Lonnie.
Hey, what's the scuttlebutt around here?
There was a rumor going around about something stashed out of the way.
Now, I got a rumor, and that guy, you can see that's added to my notes. When things get added to your notes, you can check them on them later. They're not actual missions, but they usually give you some coordinates to investigate. It's kind of a treasure hunt sort of mechanic. You can also ask for bounty information about freighters that are flying through the area, or just kind of like general news and advice.
I'll drop in.
Thanks for coming in. You take care out there.
And then whatever radio station you had selected is playing in the bar. We'll play some games later. For the time being, though, let's get into space. We've sat down here long enough. Here we are on Lubbock. We're going to go ahead and take off. Some engine wash we went through there. All right, we got our boot sequence here as we head into space. There's my little hula guy sitting on the dash. And there's the planet that we just exited with the gate that we would re-enter the atmosphere through. Now these little yellow diamonds are missions that I've got to do. This solid one is a story mission, a little favor. I'm going to go meet somebody there for that. But there's also these side missions that I just picked up at the mission board. So we're going to do those. Minor threat. Let's start with that. Now, there's a couple ways that you can travel. You can use an autopilot, or you can do kind of like a halfway between the sublight travel that we did in Rebel Galaxy and what we do here, which allows you to basically stay in-world and drop out whenever you want, but you're not allowed to steer. It's going to keep you toward your destination as you fly.
Pilot disengaged by distress signal.
Now we came across a distress signal. We really, I don't feel like I should do that yet. Let's actually get some cash and pick up a gun first.
Destination reached.
Well, look.
Can I expect Wing Commander Privateer references in this? Well, it says G. Burroughs was here on the title screen, so there's that. So we've arrived at a mission destination. What I'm going to do, you can see it blinking here, is scan the area. And that will always flag mission important stuff. So I've got an afterburner because I started on casual, so I can approach these people right away really fast. And since I bought those torpedoes, oh, that's so satisfying. Plus, that guy had a bounty, so that's nice. Little extra cash that I picked up. Now, if you don't know anything about this game at all, you notice that I'm not even looking at it right now and I'm flying toward him vaguely. It's because we have something called the auto pursuit trigger. It's basically a flight assist that effectively gets ships on the screen. It doesn't guarantee you a shot. It doesn't put their lead reticle right under yours, but it does keep you from getting lost. And the real aim is to kind of get rid of those constant, never-ending turning battles and old space sims that I frankly find pretty tedious. But again, there's a mode for people who don't agree with us and want to turn it off. But I think it makes the game hugely more accessible and frankly a lot more fun. You can also call up the people that you're in flight near.
I hate to break it to you, but you're completely screwed.
Look, I ain't got time for this.
Oh, she's going to try and run. But I'm not going to let her. Mission complete. All right. Now, there's some cargo that she dropped. 76.2. But I can't pick it up right now because I don't have a tractor beam. We'll have to pick that up. All right. One mission completed. I'm going to go ahead and check my finances here. So I've got 7,000 credits. You can see our very, very high-tech PDA, which has a CRT and probably weighs 30 pounds. It's called the Amigo. But you can also check the status of individual components on your ship. See, I got a little bit of damage up here to my thruster and my laser and my armor. I can check my mission log and deal with those missions. My cargo hold, I have a steel delivery, and this is earmarked for a mission because I picked up that mission back on Lubbock. And then there's that rumor that I picked up when I talked to the bartender. Anyway. But let's take a look before we head anywhere at the solar system we're in. So we're going to go to the local map. So this is the Texas system, and here's Austin, and here's Amarillo, and here's Nacogdoches, which is a town that I grew up in, and then here's Lubbock, which is where we started. And then there's the Caballeros filling station. We have gas stations. We'll drop by one later. But I can also check the sector map. So these are all of the solar systems in the Dodge sector, and these are the connections between those systems. So we're starting right here. Like I said, there's about 39 of these. All of these little white lines are jump gate routes that you can use to travel from place to place. The red ones are risky jump gates. The jump gates are starting to fall apart, so you can incur damage when you head through those. At any rate, we'll do that later too. You'll also see that this is all gridded out, and there's kind of a coordinate system. So when I go treasure hunting, I use that to kind of zero in on where I want to find stuff. And you can kind of zoom all the way down in here. The world is fully contiguous, so you can kind of look anywhere in a solar system if you want. What's here? I don't know. It's an asteroid belt, and it looks like a mining facility. All right. So we've got a little bit of cash. Why don't we go ahead and we're gonna get going on our first story mission. And I'm gonna check the chat, kind of see what's up. There is a truck stop. There is a truck stop. We'll stop at the truck stop. And here we are at Nacogdoches.
Docking request received. Automatic landing sequence initiated.
Oh, I love the sound of that. This is also a good time for me to take a sip. Oh, yes. There we go. And here we are, landing at Nacogdoches. All right, it's obviously kind of an asteroid mining base. A bit junkier than Lubbock. And there's the Buckshots restaurant. You'll hear some commercials from that as we're playing. That's Bucky. You can get a little Bucky to put on your dashboard too. I've got some repairs that are needed because of the damage that we took while we were fighting. Let's go ahead and repair that. Really cheap. Not much to it. We're going to refill our ordnance too, but what I really want to bolt on here is a tracer. It's just one of my favorite weapons. It's a kind of an accelerated slug weapon. It doesn't require any power from your central power systems, but it does have like a reload where it has to spin up and add a new drum after you expend all the ordnance. So we want that because it's great. All right. We're going to go ahead and head into the bar. Somebody asked if Juno needs to eat. I'm afraid not. We don't have an eating mechanic.
Richter? A friend of mine told me I'd find you here.
You Juno? Orzu told me you'd be coming around. Truth be told, I thought he'd be sending someone with more, recent experience.
So much for my reputation preceding me.
Well, here's the thing. That package, I don't exactly have it with me.
Are you shitting me with this?
See, the thing is, the package is a little bigger than a bread box, and it's on a Brust Arms convoy that you're gonna have to liberate it from.
This package delivery suddenly turned into a hijacking job? Orzu gave me a damn garbage truck. I'm not sure this works out as an equitable arrangement.
Oh, I love this song, too.
Don't hang this on me. I'm not the one who set up your little deal with Orzu. But
so, all of the main story missions are kind of developed like this. There's a full conversation system, and you'll meet various characters over the course of the game. As you complete sets of missions for these characters, they also become unlocked as buddies. We don't do mercenaries like we did in the previous game that are hireable. Instead, you get buddies, which you can have one active at a time, although you can switch by going back to the station that you met any buddy at. And then if you call them up, they'll come and help you for a while. After a while, after they're outside of combat, they'll depart, and then they have kind of a cooldown before they can be called up again. But they're great to have around. They have a ton more banter than the mercenaries that we had in the previous game, and it just kind of gives the game a lot more life. They also all have their own kind of side mission chains that you can go do just for them, just for flavor.
Look, I can already tell this is a terrible idea, but I got my own problems that need solving, so let's just get it over with. What do we have to do?
Of course, this is a terrible idea. This is a game basically about terrible ideas and Juno's awful relationship with her mother. There's no, like, world saving. There's not even a military to speak of. It's all kind of blue-collar crime.
Little man, I know a bullshitter when I meet him, and this whole planet of yours stinks. But Orzu did me a solid, so we're gonna do it. If it goes bad, though, you know whose ass I'm gonna kick.
Of course, all these conversations are skippable. I'm just making you watch them, because then I can talk over them.
It's gonna be smooth sailing.
But let's play a quick game of dice.
So, what are we playing for?
Dice poker is the game. Shall we play?
We shall play, because I really want to listen to this song.
What have I got to lose?
Perfect. I look forward to it.
You gotta play games against swearing aliens. It's important. Just a pair? Oh, he's only got a pair, too. Let's just roll them all. 3 of a kind. 5. Oh, you're kidding me. Jeez. Well, then I'm doomed. Of course he stays. Yeah, it went really well.
Fret now. I've plenty of time to let you try to win your credits back.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm out of money.
Sorry.
Well, sevro condisci, as they say. Wealth is wasted on the cautious.
All right, well, after that spectacular success, why don't I go do some more stuff? We still got some junk in our cargo hold to deliver too. Maybe we'll do that first, and then head over and do that mission for Richter. So, someone is asking a little bit further up the chat if they're guilds. While we're here, I guess I'll take a look at that. We have a Mercenaries Guild and a Merchants Guild. They're not at every station. The Mercenaries Guild's missions tend to be more merchant-based, and the Mercenaries Guild has a lot more bounty hunting and high-risk strike kind of stuff. We'll join one of those guilds when we have any money whatsoever. Somebody's asking about whether you can customize Juno's outfits. You can't. It's probably not going to happen either. We put all our customization eggs into the ship basket. So, we've got radio this time out. We really thought the soundtrack in the previous Rebel Galaxy was pretty great, but it was relatively limited, and we really wanted to go considerably farther with it, and we didn't want it to be so one note. So, there are 7 radio stations. This is the classical station. Kind of more of a pop, EDM vibe. Country. A little more metal. The Latin station. And Backbeat, which is a lot more eclectic and big band and Dick Dale. A little weird. And then you can also turn the radio off, and you'll get a dynamic soundtrack that's similar to the previous game. Now, if for some reason you don't like the music that we made or that we licensed, and you want your own, you do have the ability to add a custom mixtape channel. And you can also still customize all of the dynamic soundtrack if you feel like it from the launcher. Each one of these radio stations has their own DJs, their commercials, and I think I said earlier, it's getting close to 24 hours of music at this point. There's a lot. We really like our soundtrack. All right, we were delivering some stuff to Austin, but let's go... Yeah, let's go use this tracer and blow up some dudes first.
Don't make this too easy now.
Oh, I'll do my best not to. Now, you can also play in third person, if you like, as long as you're not playing in one of those kind of more hardcore simi modes. If you need kind of that situational awareness, or you just want to see the butt of your ship all the time for some reason. Woo! I'm getting a little damage in my cockpit there, you can see. Because this guy is considerably nastier than the other ships that we were messing with.
Sending you straight to hell.
Let's antagonize him. Oh, my glass cracked. This was a high-risk mission that we picked early on. But we've taken out the worst of them, I think. Yep.
Look, I ain't got time for this.
There we go. One more. Right up on him. Now, you can also manage your power allocation, so I'm going to push my engines a little harder since I'm in a garbage truck and try and catch up to him. Get right on his butt, and... just unload. Oh, and then he swore at me. But he's very dead. We're going to reset our power allocation here. So this radio menu has all kind of like the secondary things that you might want to do. You've got scanning, targeting the nearest station if you just want to get there, a tactical targeting mode, which I'll show you at the next battle we get into, a photo mode, which we'll check when we've got some cool explosions. There's also a film capturing mode where you can capture clips, and it'll remove any non-essential UI so that you look extra cool and do kind of near depth of field effects, and then it'll save those off if you want to share them for some reason. The map, you can transfer power to shields, and from shields back to power if you need to kind of balance your resources while you're in the middle of the battle and things are going particularly badly. And then there's the sector map that we looked at earlier. You can also see down here that there's kind of like a morality meter that's tied to how you act, because in this game you can go full pirate if you want to, and there's a whole set of pirate-specific missions, and you can duck at pirate bases, and you can just be an ass. Or you can kind of cleave to the side of good and righteousness and be nice to police. Let's go ahead and switch our radio station. Change it up. Yeah, why not? All right, here's that delivery so we can get that steel out of our hold. Also, we really need to repair.
Destination reached.
So this is Austin. It is considerably nicer than the other stations that we've been at. There's a whole bunch of merchants flying around here.
Clearance granted. You are now entering an automatic landing zone.
Somebody asked which radio station is most like the original soundtrack. It's the Stinger, the one that you start off on, the very first one.
Objective complete. Cargo removed.
There's a question about this being inspired from old space games. Can you touch on which ones and what things from each made this game today? I mean, the single most obvious inspiration is obviously Privateer. There's Privateer all over this, from the automatic landing messages to kind of the structure of the game and the general vibe of sort of loneliness on the frontier. We really wanted to take that kind of lonely, making your way frontier vibe from that game that was very, very blue collar, and combine that with a lot of kind of more modern advancements to space combat. If you go back and play Privateer, it's pretty tough to go back and play because it's been a while. So bringing more modern combat takes, things that you would see in more things like Free Space 2, and kind of bolting that together while also using our own cultural spin on it. It's very much kind of Rust Belt and down, Southwest, very 70s sci-fi vibe overall. All right, we've got 5K. I feel like we should definitely buy some better armor. Let's do that now while we're in here. This is a slightly nicer garage, obviously. There's a mining laser over there, some heat-seeking missile launcher. All right, let's see here. All right, on Austin, do we have enough money to do anything? We really don't. Let's check their mission board. Danger, a merchant rescue. That's in the Kansas system, but it's a jump away, and we don't have a jump drive yet. Pirate siege at Lubbock. Well, there's a lot of cops there, so they'll probably help, which is probably why it's so darn cheap. And, let's get this merchant rescue. You bet. I don't really want to patrol a bunch right now. All right, so let's get out there. Let's do Richter's mission. Let's move things along. This is a Hibiki Harmony. It's a lovely whiskey. I'm very much enjoying it. All right. And because it's solid, we know that this is Richter's mission. And when we hover over it, you can see down there on my multifunction display that it tells me which mission we're talking about. You can cycle through these displays, so you can look at your weapons loadout, or your message log, or what have you.
Pilot disengaged by distress signal.
But this time maybe we'll do a distress signal. Let's scan though. Let's see if we see. There's a big ship there, and it's friendly.
Destination reached.
I seem to be in a bit of trouble. I sure could use your help.
You don't look like you're in trouble.
Damn it, an ambush.
Oh, that's why you're in trouble.
Got one in my sights.
So these are kind of sprinkled around. There's a kind of a variety of these, from helping cops to people who are stuck in minefields to ambushes or black boxes left behind from previous battles that you can choose to do or not to do.
No!
Fortunately, this merchant is helping me out a little bit. He actually has turrets mounted to his cap ship.
Got him.
Good. Ooh, and I accidentally blew up the ejected pilot. You should run.
You tangled with the wrong girl today. Over my dead body.
Perfect. Now you can pick up these pirates, and you can turn them in for a bounty. But I don't have a tractor beam, so instead, where are you? There you are. Oh, blood caught in my headlights. All right, and I got a little cash for that. Very nice. Yeah, 4K. Great.
Destination reached.
All right.
Craft inbound.
Here comes Richter.
There's an awful lot of firepower around this thing.
Well, it is a brushed arms outfit. I mean, weapons kind of are our thing.
These aren't gonna spin up and start.
So the reason Juno can steer when both hands are up is because she has knees, obviously.
No, the software key will keep it from reading as a hack. It should be just fine.
Of course it's not going to be fine. Nothing is ever
I'm
fine.
uploading the key now. This'll only take a minute.
So you can see my progress meter there for his hack. Now I have a color-coded radar, so I can see whether threats or not. But if you start in normal mode, you start with a piece of junk that's basically a potato, and everything's just gray.
God damn it.
But we're
Just
playing
what I
fancy.
Shit. Xander must have had him update the defensive software. That asshole.
Richter's brother is infinitely smarter than Richter.
Hang on, I can fix this. Damn, I can't shut down the turrets. Just dodge. Dodge them.
Yeah.
Easy for you to say.
They got a few of these.
This is the end of the road.
Somebody else showed up.
Hostile craft
Who the
entering
hell are
the
these
area.
guys?
Craft
We're
inbound.
going to scan, and you'll see that it marks them there on my radar and on screen as important mission targets.
Keep them distracted.
Hurry up, damn it.
Fortunately, we've got some pretty good stuff at this point. Or at least reasonable stuff.
I'm gonna take you down.
No, you're not. Now, if you are kind of like an old school simmer, you're going to probably be wondering why I'm not like locking targets and switching targets. And it's basically set up to automatically prioritize based on threat and distance and kind of context. So in general, it'll pick targets for you. If you don't like that, though, there is a way around it, which I'll show you. We don't need to head back yet. Let's go do something. Pirate Siege, yeah. That'll get us at Lubbock.
Autopilot disengaged by distress signal.
Somebody asked about space anomalies, black holes. We don't have any black holes in this. I'm sorry. Another distress. I don't want to listen to a commercial.
Come on, let's hear some music.
She doesn't want to either. All right, okay, so what station do you want to listen to? You want rock? You want country? You want kind of electronic? You want kind of the big band? Somebody say something in chat, and I'll pick it. Somebody's asking about pirate bases you can visit. Yes, there's a bunch of pirate bases, and when you go pirate, you can actually dock at those. I see a lot of big band, jazz, stinger, big band, rock is the only music. This was a terrible idea to ask this way, wasn't it? Just truly awful. I should have polled. Whatever, I don't really want to stop. I see a lot of... You know, you guys are not helping at all. All right. Anything but country. All right, we're going to do... I see enough for... And here's the big band. You asked for it. We'll switch it around.
Destination reached.
All right, so there's some pirates attacking this. Now you can see there's some police frigates here with beam weapons. These pirates really are not going to last long, which is the reason this wasn't a really high reward mission.
Son of a bitch!
Boom. Oh, nice lights on the asteroid there, too. You can actually hear the sirens from the cops, too, because we're all about that realism.
Bogey down.
Now, the cops will scan you for contraband, so you have to be careful around them if you're selling nasty stuff on the sly, although you can choose to turn it over from your radio. Also, if you help out the police, you can actually get kind of a nice status with the police where they'll kind of look the other way and generally be more friendly toward you overall. All right, so let's go ahead and dock with Lubbock since we're here.
Docking request received. Automatic landing sequence initiated.
Somebody said that the stream froze up, but they only have audio. Is everybody else okay? Sound off? Sounds good. Okay. So far, it seems like everybody's fine. All right, cool. Good to know. I don't know. This hat is remarkably hot. I don't think I thought this through. All right. So we got 7K. That means that we can get ourselves a tractor beam, which we sorely need. Now, we haven't played any pool. We really ought to play pool, right? You know, because we did that in the last stream, but we haven't done it here yet. Where do we want to play pool? Should we play pool against an alien, though? Or should we just play pool here? Yeah, we'll play pool against an alien. No. I really want that. We're going to go to Amarillo and play pool. That's what we'll do. I'm just going to mutter on stream for you. But while we're here, let's check this mission board real quick. Oh, Miner's Defense. Let's grab this while we're here. Since these are a little different. Oh, this is a jump away. I can't do that. Both kind of far away. We'll just do that one. All right. 6:40. So when we hit 7 o'clock, we'll do like a first giveaway. And then we'll do another one at the end. We're gonna muddle through it. Bear with me. We will play Asteroids later. I'm sorry, Starvenger. Like I said, this is an Eclectica station. All right. Let's do this merchant rescue. Can you sell ejected pilots into slavery? Well, I will show you what you can do with ejected pilots. Just a trader going about his business.
What's your status?
Everything's quiet, just the way I like it.
Now you'll notice that I do have options to shake them down. I'm not impressive enough probably to get them to drop their cargo right now. And I'm not going to do a pirate playthrough right this instant anyway. I should show you, I guess, Sublight. So we're going to do kind of the in-world travel. And then it just pulls you out when you get close. So you can kind of stay in-world the whole time, and you can drop out if you see something you want to do along the way. There's this merchant that we're supposed to protect. You can see there's actually 2 merchants. You can see these blue crosses on them. This seems like a good time to show you the targeting mode. So if you're getting overwhelmed and you want to see what's going on, there is an isometric tactical mode where you can kind of cycle through all your targets. Zoom around. Oh, hey, this one even has a bounty on him. Figure out who's attacking who and what you want to prioritize. Now, there are no bombers that I can see. These are all jackrabbits, which are little crummy fighters. So I don't have any huge threats in this to worry about. Also, there's some cargo that was left here with gold ore in it. That's good. We want that. So we got to remember to pick that up. For the time being... Oh, there's a policeman here helping me out, too. Let's go ahead and just target somebody. I need some action music, though. I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah, that's all right.
There we go.
Damn!
Oh, you clipped it. Nice.
Got him.
So now you see there with that ejected pilot, I can take them in for a bounty, but if I'm playing bad, I can make sure that they've got indentured servitude for a while, which is not particularly nice. You can also see that my VDU down here is kind of going nuts when I get impacted. All right. Good. Might as well give me a hand, right?
This is too damn hot for me.
No, you're not getting away. Now let's take a photo of that. So there's a full photo mode. where you can swap between targets. Let's go back to me. All right. And you can kind of move your camera around. Let's get over to this cool explosion. There we go. You can also kind of advance frames so that if you want to get it just the right spot, you can do that. You can do everything from messing with your field of view to rolling your camera. You can turn on and off depth of field effects. You can mess with your focal distance, your aperture. You can mess with the camera glare. You can really blow out your bloom intensity if that's your thing. There's also various different color grading options that you can use to assemble the perfect shot. A little noir there. It's not a particularly great color there. Ooh. And then snap one off. Let's pick this guy up. There, we got him. It'll automatically turn him in for a bounty when we return to any station. Well, any non-pirate station. There we go. There we go.
Mission complete.
All right, now you can see I've got some cargo floating around here. That is contraband, narco cola. So I picked it up in the vicinity of this cop. That's a terrible idea. But we saw earlier that there was also a cargo container that had some good stuff in it. Ooh, I almost hit that.
I say, friend.
I will. We scan, though. It'll pop up with that little purple icon. All right. We have to blow these open. Robot workers. Let's go ahead and kill our throttle. Gold ore. Dry aged yik-yak, which is not worth particularly much. More of it. That gold, though. Now we can also go to our targeting mode here, and if we zoom out, I can see kind of green things are non-contraband that I can pick up. Let's just go ahead and select him. There you go. There's those two cap ships that I just rescued. So, let's take a look at our map real quick. We've got a mission to keep going for Richter, but I really do want to play pool, so we're going to head to Amarillo. Somebody's asking if this can be played with a HOTAS. Yes, it can. It's not honestly my recommended way to play it. I think this is significantly more fun, but you can do it. It's fully remappable, multi-device support. We'll talk about 3D printed space garbage trucks here in a little bit. We'll do a little painting, too. I crammed my Wacom tablet in here. You would not believe how much crap is in this booth.
Clearance granted. You are now entering an automatic landing zone.
All right, whiskey's good. All right, here we are in Amarillo. And you can see the criminals were removed to detention, so I got a little bit of cash for that. 250 credits, not a lot. But also, I picked up some commodities, so this seems like a good time to take a quick peek at the commodities market. So, the previous game, Rebel Galaxy, was all randomly generated. This game is not. Everything has been hand-assembled and hand-placed, and the economies are all hand-done by Eric. So, it's a lot easier to kind of figure out trade routes and decide what you're going to do. It's just a lot more purposeful and less soupy. So up here at the top, I can see what I've got and what they produce. And then if you look down at the bottom, you can see the graph of how the price has been trending. They will actually take some illegal goods here. You can see they'll take narco cola, and lab-grown tissues. But the other thing that you can see down below is that you can see historical prices, and you can also see previous purchases and sales that you have made and what price those were at. So if you're trying to plan like a trade route, this information makes it a lot easier to do that. And it tells you how old that information is so that you can, you know, if you were there 40 days ago, maybe this isn't really actionable at this point. At any rate, the trading is a little bit more developed than it was in Rebel Galaxy, and we think it makes a little more sense. And there's more information available to you to make informed decisions about what you want to buy and sell. Alright, so we're on Amarillo. It's really a pit. Let's go ahead and repair after all of this nonsense. What we should do... We really should get a power plant. So, the ships all have kind of like a combined power system. So, your guns and your afterburners and any passive energy required from your shields or your radar all come from the same power system. It's all linked together. Which is why weapons like tracers and MGs are useful. They have a long reload, but they don't draw from power. Your power plant boosts how much power you can produce. And you can see up at the top here, it's kind of like the space meter on like an iPhone, like for your available space. You can see which things are consuming the produced power from my current power system. So shields are obviously the lion's share. A little bit goes to my fairly nice radar. And I don't have any weapons that have any passive drain right now. They only consume when they're being fired. Let's see here. We gotta change out our flare. We're gonna go ahead and get a little Burt Reynolds. Burt is not gonna ship with the game, I'm afraid. Just a little Burt Reynolds. Maybe we'll have Bart Reynolds. Put him on the wall, and then we need a little Bucky. So Bucky, the Buckshot's armadillo, is the mascot for the Buckshot's fast food chain that exists in world, and I just adore him. Also, he's on my shirt, which I'm not sure you can see. It's the top of him right there. There's some of the shirts that we will be, giving out later. No, I'm going to keep my hula boy. I might want to put him on at some point. While we're in here, though, we've got my buddy Eka over at Outer Loop. We've got we got Domini from Falcon Age, and I know that Max is probably in the chat here too. We've got the Forged from Torchlight Frontiers. There'll be some more goodies coming in here, but... All right. But I said we were going to play pool, so we should probably do that. All right, let's just go ahead and play a little 8-ball.
Pretty quiet around here.
Hey, how about a game?
What have I got to lose?
All right, then.
So we have fully simulated 8-ball, varying wagers, lots of different opponents. You can hear the DJ for the grinder. That's Susan Dalian. She's awesome. There's also a fast forward here, so I'm not going to make you suffer through all of the resolution of the queue. Haha, the side pocket's never a good idea. All right, finally I get a shot. All right. And you can add spin to the ball if you want. I'm not going to do that. I'm just glad he didn't work the table with me. Oop. Maybe I can run the table. It's not gonna happen. It never happens. There we go. Although, I don't know. Yeah, but that 8-ball is in such a terrible spot. This is not gonna go well. Yeah. All right. If you get this in, I'm gonna be mad. Oh! You shark. There's no way you're getting that anywhere. Well, you put the 8-ball right in my way. This is just not gonna happen. Yeah, I hit that way too hard. Now, obviously, you don't call the pockets here. It's just a little too fiddly, but... Yes. Thank good you didn't bank it in. All right, well, at least I've got a decent shot out of it. Let's see if I don't mess it up. Oh, yes. All right, this is the moment of truth. I'm not going to get this in. I just know, because I'm on a stream, I'm not going to get this in. Oh, yes.
Shit.
That's right, dude. Give me my money.
Damn. I'm losing my edge.
I'm quitting while I'm ahead.
Yes, you are. There we go. All right. Let's check with him real quick, because now that we've got a tractor beam, I can see if there's any treasure in the area.
Just passing through. Hey, what's the scuttlebutt around here?
Yeah, I heard something a little juicy. Suppose
Q6 in Texas. Okay, I can look here.
around these coordinates. Maybe worth your time to investigate.
Thanks.
And you can ask for other just kind of like general news.
There's this new bounty hunter that's making a name for herself in Dodge. But hell, I guess she looks like a kid. Sharky, I think, was her name. Strange handle, huh?
Sharky's one of my favorite characters. You meet Sharky close to halfway through the game, but she's awesome. And she's also an unlockable buddy. I like having her with me.
All right, see you around.
I'm gonna skip these and pop out of here. You know, we have enough money to join the Merchants Guild, but I want to join the Mercenaries Guild. We need another 500 to join the Mercenaries Guild, so we're gonna wait just a second. Let's check the mission board here. Detective work, an insistent detective work. Oh yeah, let's do both of these. There we go. We'll also go check out those coordinates, see if we can get a little treasure, since we need money. Somebody's asking about walking around. Yeah, there's no walking around in this. We're all about get to it. There's plenty of other games where people walk around. All right, so let's look at our notes real quick. We had something stashed at Q6 in Texas, so no space legs. It's sad, isn't it? Q6 is close. Okay, so Q6 is gonna be right around in here. So what I'm gonna do is look around in here. Does anything look... Is that 6 right there? Yeah. Let's just put a marker right in the middle of it. Let's go ahead and fly there. We'll scan and see if we see anything. Just for a taste of something. Jack our engines up. There's Bucky on my dash and the Bandit on my wall.
Destination reached.
And a little scan here. Nothing. Kind of in the corner of the quadrant here. Let's head over here. Sometimes you have to poke around. If it takes too long, I'll do something else.
Destination reached.
Anything? Nope. Maybe this corner. This is our last shot. If we don't see it, I'll come back some other time.
Destination reached.
Bupkis. There's something in here, but I'd have to hunt around longer than I want to. Let's go ahead and do one of our missions instead. Detective work, miner's defense. Let's do miner's defense. We're gonna re-equalize our power so we don't get screwed on the way. This is my active one. You can see it's pulsing.
Destination reached. Craft inbound.
I want to change up the music though. There we go. There's the miners. And here comes the...
Hostile craft inbound.
Okay, let's do this.
Here comes the buttheads. Iron ore. These miners are mining. I'm just gonna steal their stuff while I protect them. Ah, I didn't lead it hard enough. You know what? I'm gonna show you something else here too. Let's insult them and make sure they're attacking us.
Look, I ain't got time.
Oh, they're gonna run. Oh, well then. I'm just gonna take you out. Oh, but here comes some more. Let's take a look and see who came in. So we've got a Hellconey. Those are a little nastier. And an Ads. These are bombers, so they're more likely to be taking out our miners. We want to prioritize those. And we're going to try and insult them to make sure we change who they're attacking.
Embrace the night.
They're Koreans.
Missile inbound.
Bogey down.
There he goes. Where is he? I feel like that was him right there. Yep, there he is. Miners trying to hold their own. Now later on you run into some of these that have turrets on the rear that are considerably nastier. These tracers just kind of tear them up though. They're very slow turners, so if you can get behind them, they're mostly nasty if you've got multiple of them focused on you. Somebody's asking about multiplayer. Yeah, there's no multiplayer. I'm never making another multiplayer game. He's trying to tractor up my ore. And I think we're kind of just about 7, which is a good time to try and figure out if we can actually manage to do a giveaway. How hard could it be, right? Zone's up. Oh, there's another miner over there that he's attacking.
Mayday! Mayday! Requesting help from anybody in the area.
I see that. Almost out of those.
It's empty. Better make it count.
There we go.
I think that's the last of them.
And since we're just about out, it's a good excuse to drop by Caballeros. We'll hit the gas station. There are space gas stations in our game because it makes total sense. But we got pulled out. Now, I'm going to try and get them to leave me alone. Now, you see, I also have an option to drop my cargo, which significantly increases the odds that they will leave me alone, but I don't want to give it up.
Perhaps we might.
It worked. Good. Talking your way out is worth it, especially in the early game.
Inbound. Destination reached.
All right, here we are at the filling station.
Welcome to Caballeros, the Texas Systems Fuel Fiesta. Pull forward, please.
All right, now our ordnance has all been replenished. You can't repair at these, but you can refuel your jump drive because there's certain systems that actually don't even have stations in them. And you'll need to stop. All right, and we also had that story mission, which we probably ought to quickly do. We'll go ahead and dock there. We'll see if we can manage to do some kind of giveaway stuff, and then we'll move on.
Destination reached.
Dodge Sector Traffic Control, you're
back in Nacogdoches. Asking about running out of fuel. You can run out of jump fuel, but not flight fuel. So there's never a state where you're not in a system that doesn't have some way to fill that up by docking. You get refueled whenever you dock with a station or you drop by a filling station. So there's no way to run out of fuel and be screwed, but it is a way of making sure that you do have to dock if you're traveling for a long period of time. Oh yeah, if you want to make this game difficult, play it on hard. Somebody's asking about difficulty. I'm playing it on casual right now, so... And also, I have played this about 1,000 times. All right. We'll talk to Richter real quick, and we'll figure something out.
You remember what I said was going to happen if things went bad?
Now, hang on. We gotta agree on a definition of bad.
Fuel is free, someone asked.
I mean, in my book, that's a long way from bad.
Until I'm clear of this mess, I think I'm going to reserve judgment.
That's what I like to hear. Reason. The hard part is over. With these codes, that transfer is gonna be easy. There's no slack in the rope.
Look, it's obvious you and your brother have a thing going on between you, and now his back is gonna be up. What's to say he doesn't change the codes over?
Look,
this sake of showing off the opening areas? No, of course not.
Brother doesn't have time to mess with these sorts of minor inconveniences. He leaves that to the little people.
And you don't think the little people would do the same thing?
The repeater serves a whole shipping fleet, and there's subcontractors and subcontractors of...
Somebody says this looks like the guy from Tremors, and that is exactly who I had in mind for Richter. Reba's husband. I wish I remembered the actor's name off the top of my head.
Fine. So let's just get it over with then.
All right, then. So, the shipment we need to sidetrack is going to be headed for Lubbock out of Austin. I'm going to mark an intercept point for you, and we'll meet up there.
If Juno's voice sounds compressed, it's probably the stream.
All you have to do is watch out for any trouble and take delivery of the cargo. It's going to be easy as pie.
Michael Gross, good to know.
All right, I'll meet you out there. And you just remember whose ass is on the line.
All right. So, I'm going to try and do this now. We really are going to try and figure this out. Okay. Can I remember after I've been drinking whiskey for an hour? Nobody knows. All right, giveaway. We are creating a giveaway right now. And to join this giveaway, once I create it, it should have sent an announce. We're going to be giving away some shirts, which have the artwork that's on the Twitch page right now, which is made by the comic artist Dave McCaig. It's super awesome. We're going to give away 2 of those right now. Oh my god, 60-something entries? Jeez. I'm waiting for it to slow down. 80. 90. You get to watch me dance with a Hello Kitty hat. It's good stuff. 100. Damn. How long am I going to let this thing run? I don't know what I'm doing here, guys. I'm not a professional streamer. You're just going to have to settle with me fumbling around. 105. Okay, I'm closing it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 entrants. Did it announce right? All right, so go ahead and whisper Eric Schaefer in the stream chat. As long as that's what you're supposed to do, I'm pretty sure that's what you should do. And we'll get your email addresses and get you set up, and then we'll have something sent to you. Okay. 2 shirts down. All right. Now we're going to do 2 caps. So you thought you were done. I'm just going to go ahead and use the people who already are in here. Next 2. Whisper who? Whisper Eric Schaefer. He'll be Rebel Galaxy Eric. You'll see him about 8 lines above you. Ready? All right, 2 more. Next 2, these are for caps. They say buckshots on them. They're super awesome. And the winners are announced. Go ahead, whisper Eric. Get you set up. And then the last 2 that we'll do before we move on and get to playing again are for posters. We're going to do a 2 platypus posters. These are big blueprint-style posters, kind of like what they had in old Wing Commander boxes, but significantly larger. All right, I'm going to draw 2 more. 1, 2. And there they go. Go ahead and whisper Rebel Galaxy Eric. Get that email in there. We'll get it sorted out. That one's done. We'll do another one at the end and do some more stuff. Cool? Cool. That wasn't that painful. I feel like I figured that out. Jesus. All right. So what I thought I'd do at this point is we're going to do this last mission with Richter, and then we're going to switch gears, and I'm going to load up a save that's much further on that has a lot more cash, and we're going to show some other stuff. And we'll do a little bit of ship painting and show you how that works. And maybe we'll just very briefly mine something and then go from there. All right. We've already got our mission from Richter. Let's go ahead and take off. You don't see the winners for the posters. I did send them out. It was a boop-a-doop-a-doop. I am Spasticus and Iron M 1954. It's about a page up. Are we all good? Yes, I do a lot of audiobooks. This booth is encrusted with literature. All right.
Destination reached.
All right. Cutter's break.
All right, this is the spot. They ought to pass through here any minute. You just hang back while I broadcast the codes and work the old Richter charm, and then we can be on our way.
You'll forgive me if I'm a little pessimistic.
Craft entering the area.
There they are. Watch the master work.
Unidentified craft, this is Brust Arms Hauler T-78.
More whiskey every cutscene.
T-78, good to see you.
Which is my command.
Looks like we have a missed shipment included in your manifest, and I'm here to correct it.
Now, I'm going to do this now. You can cut your inertial dampening and fly backwards or sideways or whatever you want, which is actually really useful in capital ship combat or if you're strafing turrets, stuff like that. Or just if someone is behind you and you need to turn around and you don't happen to have a turret.
Everything should be in order.
Mandy G, and the Jackal is here to pump some...
I'm 10-8 to my next stop.
...into your veins.
One moment while we verify that
I'm going to
code.
flip upside down. Yeah. All right. If you fly into the engine wash, it's kind of cool. Let's get up in there.
Bad feeling about it.
You can see my VDU down there start to fritz out. Oh, there it goes.
We've got a negative response on that auth code. And an addendum that
Of course you have a negative response. Richter has no idea what he's doing.
Request made by Richter Brust.
Why, that son of a... Is that from my damn brother? Listen, this is just a miscommunication. I've got the codes.
I repeat, the auth code is denied. Mr. Brust, please give way and let us pass.
Now you see those little kind of Wi-Fi markers that lets you know who's talking when you see that on the corner quadrants.
We're only going to get one shot at this. Listen, I hate to say this, but you're going to have to scare it out of them.
New hat? You really want me to pause to put on a squid hat? Maybe when we do ship painting.
The thing I need is a bounty on my head. I don't have a rich big brother to buy it out.
Look, I need the plausible deniability on my black box. This is my family.
Somebody's asking about Switch FPS target. It's 30 is the Switch target. There's no way we would hit 60. That hardware is nowhere near as nice as a PS4 or a PC.
Listen, T-78, I don't want to have to do this. I need you to eject that requested package and move along. I can't let you leave without it.
You actually do get what's in the package later, and it's kind of cool.
Be advised, we are contacting combat support. Aggression against this vessel will be met with force.
Yeah, but we got to scare it out of you. Might as well start. There's actually multiple different ways to kind of complete this. You can actually just murder them, which Richter does not appreciate. You can scare it out of them with damage, or you can defeat all of their mercenary defense, in which case they'll just give up.
Combat support inbound.
All right, let's scan and find that combat support. There it is. Mercs.
Missile inbound.
That's Damon Allums, is a voice actor who did that mercenary right there. Damon, if you're watching, there you are. One of your roles, anyway.
Missile inbound.
Son of a bitch!
That's Andrea Parzno. Oh God, I hope I pronounced your name right. I apologize if I didn't.
The end of the road, friend.
There is significantly more VO work in this than in the previous game. I think there's about 25 actors, just hours and hours and hours and hours of audio. So many more conversations, and since they're two-sided this time out, and there are more characters, it, it was more of an undertaking.
Time for you to die.
Oh, I love this song.
Look, I think we can work something out.
It was perfect. I really love dead-eyeing people with proton torpedoes. So here in the first solar system, when ships don't have particularly super strong AI, they don't know how to juke out of the way of them, so they're especially effective. As you progress, they notice when you fire dumbfire projectiles at them, and they'll dodge out of the way. Scoop it up. Where is he? Oh yeah, there's those green dots on my radar. We gotta blow him up. Come on. in that one? Yeah, there it is. Package MKJ47. Let's get out of here. Well, we'll find out later. Well, you might not. We're gonna move on, right?
Until then, fly quiet like.
Asshole.
Mission complete.
Somebody asked if the AI is based on location. To a certain extent, there's down to difficulty regions and like different pirates occupy different areas. So different ships have different kind of AI rankings, which are from just basic skill, how they know to use countermeasures or to juke and dodge, to things like erraticness and bravery that all kind of figure into the way that they behave. And I do want to just go here and talk to Richter before we go do something else, because I want to show you how buddies unlock.
Clearance granted. You are now entering an automatic landing zone.
You can obviously skip this, but I'm not gonna. You're just gonna have to watch it. Says, does that mean if I ignore the storyline till I'm all tooled up, it would be harder? No, it doesn't. It's not an auto-leveling game. So if you want to go and work your way up to being awesome and then work your way through the storyline, that's fine. We don't care. The game is not designed to be impossible or like a ridiculous skill challenge just to beat the main story. There's side missions that are harder than the main story. So I am a little bit beat up though. I don't need to, we're gonna load a different game. Why do I even care about repairing myself? I guess I do because I want to pull Richter up at least once.
All right, I know what you're gonna say, but all's well that ends well.
Night, Torchlight Fox.
It's a real mystery that you aren't the CEO, Richter.
Night, Zid.
Real mystery.
That's what I've been saying.
So, that package has taken up room in my cargo hold. Where am I dropping this off?
Orzu's casino is in the Nevada system. Just skedaddle on over there, kick it out the back, and it's out of your hair.
I wish I could say it's been a pleasure.
Oh, come on now. You love my roguish charm. I gotta say, you're good in a scrap, and I'm not a bad guy to know. I know you're trying to fix up that hunk of junk. Tell you what, if I hear of anything you might be interested in, I'll let you know. There could be some credits in it.
Uh-huh. See you around, Richter.
So I've unlocked Richter as a buddy. So we're gonna go ahead and I'll just kind of show you how that works before we load up another save and do some other stuff. Gonna go ahead and repair and refill. Oh, but we're gonna join a guild too, just because I'm gonna show it to you. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, there's the two guilds. We're gonna go ahead and join the Mercenaries Guild. And these are kind of like elevated and more lucrative missions that you can do. They're all kind of categorized by a kind of play style. So if you're more of a trader, you want to do Merchants Guild stuff. If you like to blow dudes up, Mercenaries Guild.
This is a Mercenaries Guild, right? Am I interrupting anything?
You're in the right place. Welcome to the local chapter. The Mercenaries Guild is the right move for anyone who wants to maximize their earning potential. We provide access to our curated database of high-quality contracts and the backing to get...
They're asking about procedural missions. All of the side missions are effectively procedural. They are basically templates that incorporate different ships, and there's a wide variety of templates, but they'll get generated forever, so you can do side missions to your heart's content. There are also story side missions, which are character-related, and those are not obviously procedurally generated, so there's kind of a mix of the two.
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and sign up.
You won't regret it. We'll deduct the membership fee.
We have very advanced technology computers that they use in our future.
Glad to have you aboard. Feel free to check the mission board here in my...
Looks a lot like a pet, is what it looks like. A pet CBM. And then once you've joined, you have access to their specific mission board. So, bounty stuff, lots of bounties in this system, but generally higher risk stuff. Bounties can flee, and then you have to bring them back in order to get paid. The voice actor for the Mercenaries Guilds, that's Connie Terwilliger. She's a voice actress who's in a ton of stuff. Connie's awesome. All right, but we're just going to go ahead and pop into space so that we can pull up Richter and I can show you how buddies work, at least vaguely. All right, so once you have a buddy, we'll talk about wanted levels later. You can see that he becomes available here on the right. I can call up Richter now.
I'm looking for an assist. Can you make it out?
Well, hello there, Juno. Why, yes, I suppose I could scoot on over and lend a hand. what are friends for?
And then in a couple seconds, and you can kind of see the countdown, he'll show up.
Hey, Juno, I sure hope you weren't pining away.
Oh, Space Game Junkie. Hi, Brian. Yes, we're going to check the Durston out. That's what we're going to paint on, and I'm going to show mining with it. So, PSVR support, I'm afraid not. There's not going to be any VR for this. VR makes me hurl. And also, a lot of the things in the game don't really lend themselves well. Making a VR pool game, and VR arcade games, and VR conversations, and all of the parts of the interiors of the stations that we don't have to show you when it's not VR is kind of a tall order.
It's my understanding that
Oh, hey, look, it's Richter's older brother.
Which rightfully belongs to Brust Arms, probably at the behest of my idiot brother.
Hello there, Mr. Brust. I'm not sure how you found my comm ID, but...
We gotta listen to this now.
Please, Miss Markov, don't make the mistake of conflating either my tenacity or my resourcefulness with that of Richter.
So, Spade Ninja 9, you actually can tune the audio ducking if you want for music. Also, have auto ducking going on so that you can hear me over the top of this. So, regardless of what your preferences are for music versus dialogue, you're going to be okay.
Either compelling your cooperation or ensuring your elimination. When the time comes, you can decide which it will be. Until then, goodbye, Ms. Markev.
Craft entering the area.
All right, so now that Richter is here, you can see that you can actually ask Richter to do stuff. So it has kind of your classic Wing Commander free space style comms where you can radio and tell your additional wingmates to do what you'd like them to do.
Form up on my wing.
I'm on it.
Let's do something we have. Detective work. Well, I don't need you to watch him fight. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna load up this other game. Let's look at some other stuff. Somebody's asking about how many buddies you can have at once. You can have one buddy at a time. So you switch your active buddy. When you get them, you have an opportunity to switch to them immediately. You can also go to the station where you met them and switch at any time, but you can only have one active at a time. Somebody asked about Easter eggs. Well, you can see one right there on the front, right behind that beer etched into the wall, which you really have to have a good memory to get at all. Anyway, let's go ahead and manage our saves, and I have this jobby down here. My face is in the way. Oh, shoot. You're right, my face is in the way. We will look later. All right, so I'm loading up a save a little further in the game. It's on Denver. And I've still got a platypus here, but just so I can show you the process for buying new ships. So let's do that now. I'm going to go ahead and head to the ship dealer. And we're going to go ahead... Don't look at that. Don't look at that. We're going to go ahead and buy a Durston, which is kind of... People are always asking how big the ships can get in this game, especially if they played Rebel Galaxy, and they're like, oh, hey, can I fly capital ships? Well, no, you can't. There's no capital ships that you can fly in this game. Plenty that you can blow up. This is the biggest ship that you can get, and it's called the Durston, and it's kind of the equivalent of a semi-truck. So we're going to go ahead and buy it.
Welcome. See anything that catches your eye?
I'm in the market for some new wings. I don't know, though. This might be out of my price range.
I know she's a little unwieldy looking, but you could pack a nice-sized house into the cargo bay. The Durston is the go-to choice for anyone who does significant hauling. And those two turret mounts ensure you aren't a sitting duck. Are you ready to make the investment? You won't regret it.
So if you've ever seen the movie Used Cars with Kurt Russell, that's kind of what was in mind with the ship salesman.
Yeah, why not?
Fantastic. Let me just get you the keys and complete the...
Drink. You're right. Drink. Cheers.
You won't regret this decision.
Let's take this, baby.
I'm running out of whiskey. I actually filled this relatively deep. All right. So now we've got a new ship, which has significantly more mounts than the one that we were using before. So we're going to go ahead and head to the equipment bay. And, gosh, we need a lot of things. First off, I want to show you a teeny bit of mining, so we're just going to go ahead and get a mining scanner, which is required if you want to actually pinpoint resources when you're mining. Otherwise, it's just a crapshoot. Let's also I've got all this money because I cheated. Let's just get a much better power plant. We need a crazy power plant. Now, different ships all have different rankings that they can support. So you can't put a level 4 power plant in the starting garbage truck. You can see up there it says requires Mark 4. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see me pointing at the screen. Whatever. Anyway, but I can put it in this one, so I'm gonna sell my old power plant. Yes. And let's go to our weapons, and we're gonna add a top-mounted mining turret. Since I actually have, there's 2 turret mounts on the baseline Durston. Put one up there, and on our bottom mount, why don't we add our bottom turret, not our, let's put a tracer turret down there. And we've got a torpedo launcher, but let's add a swarm launcher. Why not? And we've got a tracer, a combat laser. Let's add a mass driver, because I do love a mass driver. So someone asked if mining turrets are any good in combat. They can be used in combat. They have a relatively limited range. And they have a bit of a slow refire rate after they've been stopped firing. Let's see here. Got so many hard points. I really want to put stuff on them. Let's just put a bunch of different junk on it. Why not? Put an ion blaster on there. We've got this big power plant. Why not? All right. And let's look at the far barrel. You know, before we take off, though, we should play at least a quick game of Star Avenger, right?
Let's see here.
Why not? Now, if you get the high score in Star Avenger, that will unlock a very brief mission chain, because everybody watched The Last Starfighter. One of the main wrinkles versus asteroids is these cash incentives, because this is a game about mercenaries and pirates. Come on. I'm not actually going to make you watch me play this for very long. But it's fully featured and has persistent high scoreboards across all the stations. We also have slot machines. I guess I didn't do that, but, you know, it's a slot machine. You know what a slot machine looks like. I'm not playing really well. It's because I emptied that whole whiskey glass. That's my excuse. Damn. Now I'm just murdering myself so we can go do something else. But I just gotta get this last diamond. There we go.
Damn.
She didn't appreciate that. I didn't get on the high scoreboard at all. Anyway. Obviously, the bartenders are different at different locations.
What do you say?
Snow out the window.
You've got your finger on the pulse around here. Any advice?
Drink and fly. Drink and fly.
A little rickety. Best watch yourself if you're doing a bunch of inter-system jumps. A bad jump can tear you up pretty bad, or worse, send you somewhere you weren't planning on going.
Interesting.
All right. Now, one of the things you can do is check for bounties and pay for bounty information.
Yeah, I get tipped off from time to time.
There's ice hauling missions. I think we have ice.
Credits, I wouldn't mind cluing you in.
Yeah, let's pay for it.
That sounds pretty good.
Pleasure doing business with you. I'll just get those coordinates to your pad.
But there's also pirate lords that will show up that are super nasty, but have huge bounties and goodies, and you also find those this way.
You take care now.
But you'll see like a notification come by that they've kind of surfaced in the area. There's almost certainly not one here. All right. Make sure we don't have anything we needed to sell. And we do have some junk in our hold. And let's get a mission just so that we've got something to run and do. Some listening posts? Sure. A depot strike? Why not? Absolutely. All right. Pre-snow ingredient hauling. Yeah, exactly. Goes so well with your name, Iceberg. It's a little easier to locate Pirate Lords this time out, but I don't think we're going to do any achievements associated with that. Somebody's asking about Pirate Lords. They're just notoriously hard to find and get an achievement for in the last game. Apologies to everyone who wasted time trying to kill Pirate Lords. So, if we look at our map, you can see it marked those bounties for us. No Pirate Lords, sadly. They show up as red skulls. But there are some bounties in these locations which we could go hunt down. Actually, there's one really close. He's right there. We gotta just go kill him. Probably attacking somebody, apparently. So, this is the Durston, and obviously it's it's a two-seater. You can see the other readouts over there on the left. Let's go ahead and let's go to photo mode and have a peek at our Durston. Here's the Durston. Let's zoom in there. Ah, I'm not inside it. Oh, look, there's Juno sitting in the seat. And you can see there's my top-mounted mining laser right there. Anyway, it's a big old beastie. My bottom-mounted tracer turret.
I seem to be in a bit of trouble. I sure could use your help.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Ambush.
Another ambush
Hostile
event.
craft entering the area.
Well, let's use some turrets then, huh? I got a lot more weapons on this than I did on that little bitty platypus.
Got it.
We'll use our swarm missiles on him. There we go. Oh, boom, he's done.
Missile inbound.
Oh! So I'm going to go ahead and dump some power to my shields. I have this huge power plant, I might as well. There we go. Anybody left? Where's that bounty? Did we already get it? And I wasn't paying attention? Actually, sometimes it could be on these guys. Oh, it's on the miner. The miner has a bounty on him. So if I wanted to be a little more piratey, I could take out the miner. But I'm not gonna. Those are some wasted missiles. All right, I said I was going to show you a teeny bit of mining. So we'll do that when we manually control the turrets.
But I hope this makes a square.
The grinder.
Drop some stuff. I wasn't paying any attention. All right, well, let's head here to the Meeker Nebula, because I know it has asteroids, because I tried this earlier to make sure I knew what I was doing. But we probably need some country for mining, I think.
Let's see here.
So this is what it looks like when you man a turret. And I can switch between both of my turrets. This is the bottom-mounted tracer turret. And then back.
Autopilot disengaged.
NPCs will not always give you money. Somebody's asking about the rewards. Oh, hey, a cap ship. NPCs will also drop their cargo, so sometimes traders will drop loot. Here's some cap ships. Why don't we go ahead and blow one up while we're here. Got my dampers and spin around. Take out his side turrets. There we go. Oh, I need to rebalance my power. I had my engines to full. Let's dump our power to our shields again.
Well, look at what we got here.
Oh, and there's a cop. I'm gonna go to photo mode real quick. So we've got these little... There's our cop. You can see they got their lights on. And obviously you can hear them. Oh, that's a gunship. No wonder this is tough. Gunships are nasty. gonna switch it up and throw some torpedoes into the back of him and take him out. There we go. It's a fiery mess.
Missile inbound.
Yeah, there we go. Now you... I'm just gonna torpedo the crud out of you.
We would not decline an offer of assistance.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Cutting my inertia so I can shoot at him backwards a bit. See, he's getting damaged in the rear. Drop this side turret first. There we go. Cut our inertia again. There we go. Oh, he's got a missile turret. He's done, though. There we go. There's big chunks of him. Nice. This is a cool thing to do on the way to go mining, right? I don't think I'm as good as
If
Dan.
you want
I
to
think
keep
you
that
are.
pile of crap in one piece.
See swarm missiles on this dude. Oh, what a waste! I blew him up ahead of time. That's what happens when you're not used to your ship. Now you can see that the readouts in here are placed a whole lot differently than the Platypus. The radar's up top, everything's all in different locations. We really wanted all of these cockpits to feel very different, and that's really all down to Howie. So Howie Day, if you don't know Howie Day, does all of our spaceships, and he's our art director. He does all of our spaceships and our ship design and all the effects and all the cool explosions. This is all due to Howie Day. So when you're admiring all the stuff blowing up and how cool these cockpits are, you know who to thank.
One more of those. Better save it for a special occasion.
These are little bitty destroyers. They're much bigger capital ships than this. Which is why we're actually fighting this one. Yeah, almost done. There he goes. I'm gonna flip around backwards and just drift away and watch him blow up. There we go. Oh, that's very satisfying. All right, but I really was gonna go somewhere and mine something, so I don't even care who's around here waiting to be killed. We blew up some cap ships.
Well.
Oh, come on. These are Red Devils. This is another pirate clan. Kind of more motorcycle-y than the Hicks from we've been blowing up so far. I don't really want to fight them, though.
If we just put our guns away, nobody gets hurt.
Hell no. Begging ain't gonna buy you nothing.
You what? Alright, fine. Oh, and it's a gunship. That sucks. Oh, we're gonna swarm missile you to bits if we can help it.
Missile inbound.
I guess if I die, it'll be a really good excuse to go paint the ship.
Forward shields down. Missile inbound.
Come on, dude.
Forward shields down.
Yeah. He's only got side-mounted turrets, so if you can get right behind him, they have a tough time getting the bead on you. Oh, my maneuvering jets are super tore up.
Hope you like the cold.
I'm just gonna waste some missiles on him. I gotta get you dead, or I'm not gonna survive. Oh, I can barely turn it all. Come on. Oh, I killed 14,000 credit bounty. Dang, he was great. I guess that was worth it.
Hold on. We don't have
Let's have to see if we can beg our way out again.
Sorry, just ain't gonna happen.
Ah, you butt. Yeah, well, at least there's no more gunships. Maybe I can take you out if I can get one good missile lock. That's all of them, though.
Shields down.
Come on. Sorry, I can't even look at the chat. I'm just trying to not be dead.
Systems heavily damaged.
Oh, it'll be great if I can limp back, though. Come on, let's limp back.
Shields down.
Okay, there's got to be somebody on my butt. Can I spin around and get him?
Systems critical.
Oh, and we're dead. All right, so this is a perfect excuse for us to go back to our last save, which was when we undocked from Denver, and we'll just redock, and let's do some painting. Womp womp.
Starship salvage. Get the finest.
Tip of the hat to you.
Turbines, cargo extenders, gently used radar, and more tangled wreckage than you
Docking request received. Automatic landing sequence initiated.
can afford to sell this quality merchandise.
For such unbeatable prices. That's the last of my whiskey, and it's very sad. Hello, Denver.
Outside of Austin orbit.
All right, there's our big beastly Durston. Somebody asked how many characters I voice. I actually don't know. Too many, honestly. It's a function of time. All right, so we're going to head to the ship dealer. And we're going to go ahead and go over to the painting mechanism. And if you haven't seen this before and you want to see it in depth, I've got like an hour-long video that goes into ridiculous detail on this. We don't have time to do that here. But it's pretty dang cool. And it has full stylus support, and it's basically like 3D Photoshop for ship painting. So I crammed my Wacom tablet, Wacom, whatever, into this booth. I can't be held responsible for pronunciation at this point. So we're going to do a little bit of painting. Even if you suck at painting, though, there's something here for you. So we'll start with that. Now I'm going to go ahead and snap to the left here. And if you've ever used Photoshop, you're going to find that this interface is kind of made for you. It's also fully remappable. You can remap the hotkeys. It even has like Maya-style hotkeys if you want to switch to that. We don't need to mess with that. So there's your standard painting, which is pressure sensitive. You can see that that's pressure sensitive. Let me go ahead and undo that. There's layer support. So, I'm going to go ahead and paint on this, and then I'm going to hide this layer, and then I'm going to show this layer, and I'm going to delete this layer. There's pencils and airbrushes and blurs and clones, an eyedropper. Basically, it's 3D Photoshop. It's a lot like Substance or something like that. You can mess with your lighting. You can... But I'm going to show you the cool thing. All right, we're going to start with stencils. So one of the neatest things about this is stencils. So if you go to this, which is the projection painting tool, and the best way that I can explain this is kind of like ejecting paint from the camera toward your cursor. So it just paints anything it hits, which is a lot different than painting kind of in the UV space of a model. I don't want to get into weird 3D model stuff, but you can, and let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and add this stencil of the grill that Dave McCaig made for our cool-ass poster. And I'm going to scale this down and move it up. And I'm just going to rub it off right onto the ship. So I'm using the square brackets to kind of change my brush size. And I can, again, using pressure sensitivity, just rub this off right onto the side of the ship. And just imagine that it's a wizard and this is a van. Because, you know. And then when I turn off the stencil, there it is on my ship, right? Huzzah! Now I can go ahead and switch over here, and let's use our color picker. We get a nice kind of brownish color here. There we go. And let's zoom in, and we really need a mustache, I think, to really take advantage of the pressure sensitivity here. Perfect, perfect. Look at the artistry on display. Now, if I'd been smart enough to do this in a layer, you know, I could have hidden it, and you would be amazed. Alas, you will not be. I'm going to add something else in here. So I'm going to go up and add a custom brush, which is a little bit different than a stencil. It has a custom brush engine, which lets you make whatever you want. I'm going to add a little kill marker image that I made earlier. Actually, I want to do this as a projection brush. But our custom brush engine is extremely full-featured, and you can do a ridiculous amount of things that there's no possible way I could show in this stream. But let's go ahead and set our pen stiffness on this really. Let's go ahead and make this guy big. So if I want to do just kill markers for all the dudes that I killed, I can just stamp them right on there with this little brush I made. Boop. Boop. Actually, I want to make sure that there we go. Perfect. Show you some other just bizarre stuff really quick. I don't want to waste too much time on this. It's nuts, and I could spend 3 hours talking to you about this stuff. But there's everything from mirror painting, so I suppose I should have done that when I stenciled the dude on. If I put this on now with mirror paint on, you'll see that it shows up on the other side. Shazam. And now that it's on a layer, I can hide it and show it. All of these have all the blend modes that you would normally see in something like Photoshop. If I put it on screen, it won't show up because it's black. I can make it darken, whatever. I can change its individual opacity. If you are like an actual game artist, it has a full unwrapped UV mode, which you can paint directly on and rotate and do all kinds of crazy stuff with. It's nuts. There's a lot you can do. I'm going to go ahead and pop out without leaving my junk on there. And the other thing that you can do when you've finished painting your ship is you can actually 3D print them. And it will upload the texture that you did, and you can have a 3D print delivered to you, which has your paint job on it. I got one in here. I suppose I'll make it so you can see me. This is enormous, but you can see that it's a 3D print of the Coyote ship, and it's fully textured, and that's the way it comes. So if you were to paint, for instance, the word bandit on the side of this and to make it black, then, you could have that delivered to you, which would not be a terrible idea. I said I was going to change hats, too. I suppose this is the time. Gosh, that thing is hot. It's all about the squid now. All about the squid. Which is practically Grill cosplay anyway. How does that look? Does that look good? It looks spectacular. It looks amazing. There we go. All right. What should we do now? We've got another 15 minutes in this 2-hour stream. And I'm thinking that we ought to hop into something fast.
Welcome. See you.
I'm in the market for...
quality...
Yes, I'm going to skip. We're going to buy this thing.
Sorry, old girl, but it was time for a trade.
Oh, I didn't show you mining. You're right. I got totally lost because I died. I apologize. We're going back.
Welcome.
Yep. We're buying it. I messed up. All right, there we go. We need to go put our stuff back because I just got it all unequipped because I put it into a ship that couldn't handle it. Let's do it. All right, Alpha turret. We're going to put that mining turret right back on. It's sitting here in storage because it was uninstalled because the ship I moved to couldn't handle it. And let's put this swarm launcher back on. All right, we now return to our regularly scheduled programming. Oh. It's too much. The stress. All right, we're switching back. I see I'm not on the screen. You didn't need to see that anyway. I'm just explaining how I suck. There we go. You get to see the mining.
How's things on your end?
More whiskey. My wife actually brought whiskey down and put it outside the booth, but I would have to open the door and reach out and get it. And I'm not gonna, just for you. All right. So previously, we set our waypoint here at the Meeker Nebula, where we were going to mine, so I could briefly show you that. And now I'm going to go briefly show you that. How big is this booth? Someone asked. It's not very big.
I hope you got insurance.
This gonna cost me an armful of legs. Oh man, who's fighting who here? Yeah, oh, these are those dudes that we ran into last time. We're just running. We're going to jack our engines up as hot as they will go, and we are getting the heck out of here. We need to see the whiskey. Oh, it's sitting right over there. Are you sure? You're very sure? All right, okay, I'm gonna do it. But I have to take all this off to do it.
Well, it looks like new, and I don't even mind that these nanobots have invaded my body and are now changing me in terrifying and unknowable ways.
Nanobot, who says
I've got whiskey. And I'm gonna recombobulate myself. The squid is going on. To be truthful, this is not that much cooler than the Hello Kitty. It's also relatively warm. But I have this great whiskey. Again, this is Hibiki Harmony. It's truly spectacular. If the Suntory Whiskey Company would like to send me some free whiskey for advertising their whiskey on this stream, I'm amenable to that. A little more. There we go. Perfect. All right. We're back at it. Let's go mine. But we really do need to switch to country for this. Perfect. There we go. That's much better mining music, don't you think? All right, so we installed a mining scanner.
Resources detected.
By the way, that voice is also my wife, the fine woman who also brought me the whiskey. And you can see on my radar here, we're in a nebula, so there's a bit of disturbance, that these are asteroids that actually have resources on them. Now I can switch to my turret. Let's go ahead and do this. And if I target at the point where the resources have been detected, it will extract them until they're out. Let's go ahead and hoover that up. This is terrible, terrible iron ore, but if you get diamonds and gold, it's a lot more lucrative. All right, let's steal all that iron ore. And this is our tracer turret down below. We don't really care about that. Scan one more time. We'll take one more shot at get something decent. But I don't want to spend my whole stream, you know. Also, this is In the Pines, which is a fantastic song to mine to, I think. All right, where are you? There we go.
Resources extracted.
Diamonds, there we go. Now we're talking. And some iron ore, but we got some diamonds out of it. It's not too bad. So do you have to use a mining laser? Someone asked. Yes, if you want to mine and actually get stuff out, you got to use a mining laser. Otherwise, you're just going to have to camp out in your miners and steal their loot. Cargo hold size does vary on ships. Someone's asking. You can also buy cargo extenders. Also, if you are unscrupulous, you can buy a smuggler's hold, which will shield a certain number of tons of cargo from police scans. I suppose I should talk about police scans. There is a wanted system in place, similar to something you'd see in GTA, so that if you were observed doing crimes, you get a higher wanted level, which elapses over time as you escape the heat. And if you are in, let's look at this map. So this is a Commonwealth station, which means it's associated with the main law enforcement arm. So if you are currently wanted, you cannot dock at a Commonwealth station. This is an independent station, or I'm sorry, I've got this backwards. No, actually I don't. It's just not showing the right affiliation. This is a independent station, and at an independent station, you can dock even if you're currently wanted. This is also kind of your in to joining pirates, so if you want to do unscrupulous missions, you want to go to these sort of independence stations, and you'll see missions which often have skulls in front of them, which allow you to do more pirate-themed stuff. Oh, did it say Pirate Lord sighted? I didn't notice in my log. Somebody saw Pirate Lord sighted, so I guess we should go. Let's go to Boulder Tech real quick. Because we are not wanted.
Autopilot disengaged by hostiles.
Just what I needed.
Oh, they're attacking this merchant. Gaggle of shit. You guys are weak sauce.
There's more than that song, family values, and a big old dip of chew. Warren Chestnut here for the lariat. You stay with us now.
I love our DJs. Oh, I really like this song too. Lonely Man, so good.
Destination reached.
I almost don't want to dock because I want to keep listening to the song. This is often, when I'm playing, I will dock and then go to the bar and play a game of pool so I can continue listening to a song that I particularly liked.
Clearance granted. You are now in.
And now I can have some of that whiskey. Oh yeah.
Living for the minute.
Just like, that dude is just like right under the lip of that. It's amazing. All right, so here we are at Boulder Tech. Diamonds. More diamonds sell for crap here. This was not the place to sell my diamonds, but I'm not really playing, so I'll allow it. Oh yeah, we were gonna see if we could see a pirate lord, right? Look at the bar.
Hi there. Take a seat.
What do you say?
All right.
What's the news around here?
You're in luck. A miner came in a week or so ago, talking up something worth a look at these coordinates. Could be interesting.
Thanks.
All right, so we want to go ahead and get bounty information.
The girl wanted to make some cash rounding up undesirables. Would you know something about that?
Sure
I love
thing.
Lonnie.
If you've got the credits, I've got the coordinates.
I'll bite.
All right, then. I'll send the information to you.
I appreciate it. See you around.
Now, if you also want to be a pirate, you can also get freighter information. It will mark merchants in transit between different stations, and you can go intercept them and take them out. Lonely man. All right. That one's not Richter. That's Steve Schleicher. Schleicher? I hope I pronounced everybody's name right. Let's go look at our map. No, there's no pirate lord. He must have gone underground already. They are only out for a period of time before they leave. So, he had already elapsed. Unless I'm crazy or there's a bug. I mean, it's always possible there's a bug. This isn't shipped yet, but... Who's my current buddy, by the way? I don't even have a buddy in this little cheeky game that I made. Who is that? Is that a cop? No, that's a prospector. Well, let's just go. What do we got for missions here? Listening posts. All right, so that's going to be like a scan mission. I'll take the closest mission, which is these listening posts.
Tip of the hat to you.
Tip of the hat to you.
You can see all of her hands do different stuff in all the different cockpits. Our animator is Colin Turner. We have one animator. He's super awesome. Anything that's animated in here is Colin, and he is amazing. All the character work is done by Jeff Mianowski, who is also ridiculously awesome. So, yeah, we got an awesome team. There are only 5 of us, but we've got good people.
Look, I ain't got time for this.
Missile inbound.
Shit.
Ooh, mines. Magna mines. So this is a scanning various outposts, and they all have kind of like different circumstances around them. And there's magnetic mines around here. Cargo container. There's the dish that I have to scan. And this jackrabbit that is firing missiles at me. Let's go ahead and target him.
Missile inbound.
This is Warren Chestnut for Subspace 15815. Why don't you sleep before space?
Just some friendly advice. You should fly the hell away.
Oh, hell with this shit.
Good, yeah, fly away. It is actually legitimate to intimidate people. That results in a successful mission in many circumstances. All right, that's facility scan, but there's all this loot here. Let's blow it up. Real whiskey. Don't mind if I do. Sushi grade starfish. Pure water. So we'll wrap this mission up, and that seems like a good place to call it, and then I can just answer some questions for a little bit, since I can only do like a semi-okay version of that while I'm actually playing.
Autopilot disengaged by proximity.
Ooh, which mission am I looking at? Oh yeah, it's on the other side. So this is a jump gate. We haven't done any jumps in this stream, but this is how you travel from system to system. You come to one of these jump gates and you activate your jump drive. Maybe we'll do that at the end. Let's jump somewhere else at the end. I suppose I ought to say this really quick while we're out here, and it mentions that you could jump to the Montana system. You'll notice that most of these systems are named after states, and they usually have stations that are named after cities in those states. And there's kind of just sort of some expected regional flavor. If you go to Nevada, that's where the casinos are. If you go to Louisiana, there's a lot of, a little more backwoodsy vibe to it. Colorado, of course, we were landing on the snowy Denver, so there's just some sort of implied vibe with the various different solar systems based on the naming scheme that we use. Discouragement, of course, is just discouraging.
Pilot disengaged by distress signal.
I'm always tempted by the distress signals because maybe it's one you haven't seen, which is most of them, to be honest. We're gonna look.
Destination reached.
This guy wants an escort, probably.
Somebody's in trouble.
Yeah, this is an escort. So, for people who seem to be worried about escorts, this is how escorts work in this game. You pair with them, and then there's an intervening kind of like cinematic sequence. And if you are interrupted, you are interrupted. But there's no more of this fumbling around trying to get them to have a decent trajectory.
Here's something for your trouble.
We were not interdicted, so it was an easy bit of money, but we might have been attacked on the way. All right, let's go to... I love this song.
Autopilot disengaged by hostiles.
Yeah, somebody's here helping me too. I don't know who, but that looks like a cop to me. Unless it's a merc. I don't hear a siren. Who was it? Oh, it's this freighter. Yeah, it's very satisfying, even though I feel bad.
You're making a big mistake.
I think that you are making a mistake. Up while you're talking about it. You made a terrible, terrible decision. I guess there is a bomber here, and my cockpit is getting a tiny bit damaged. We'll just dump a little. Oh, that's because I don't have my power balanced. All right. Oh, I didn't go particularly well.
Bounty received. Port shields
I love it when Juno laughs. It makes me happy. Thank you, Lonnie. Oh, there's one more dude around here. Oh, I shot those before lock. That was not the best thing to do. So, I didn't really talk about this, but you can see that the reticle here in the middle, and this is all Howie's idea, is the shape of your ship. So you can see where all of the weapons are located, and you can see, like, my tracer is reloading there on the left-hand side, that little green reloading circle. All the missile launchers I have mounted on the right side of my ship. You can see how much ordnance they have in them at a glance just by looking at those little bitty meters. All right. Somebody asked about the micro-torpedo launcher's ammo. Yes, it does have ammo. Its main advantage is that it can be mounted to a gun mount instead of a secondary mount. Oh, this is a police cruiser. Actually, I think it's a destroyer. Whatever. We might as well just blow some stuff up. I love it the way that the sirens just blare at you. It's so ridiculous. It's my favorite. More dudes around here? I think that's it. We're clear. Oh, I can hear one of the cops will automatically pick up contraband. How do you know when missiles are locked on? Somebody's asking. So you'll see boop, there's a boop, and then there's a final blinking state for any lock reticles, it lets you know. So it's a combination of a tone and a visual blink state. Yes, Space Police sounds are so corny. Thank you. And it's perfect. Fight me. All right, cops. I mean, look at them. They've got Chips helmets, for God's sake.
Autopilot disengaged by hostiles.
Ooh, a couple frigates. I know we're not just going to our mission, but I mean, it's getting towards the end of the stream here. It's 8 o'clock. We're supposed to be done. I'm just blowing up some guys because I like it.
Bounty received.
No!
Boom! Yeah.
Gods greet me!
They do greet you.
That's a kill.
That's Carson Beck there playing that cop. Awesome VO actor.
Hell with.
Bounty received.
That VO actor was less awesome.
I think we're clear.
Yep, everybody's gone. But there's a bounty detected somewhere. Well, obviously. You can see a bunch of them. All right, there's that listening post. Are we actually gonna... No, that's one we already did. You can tell because it's gray. I'm obviously sparking a little bit too, and I don't have a repair droid. Oh, Bountiful. Somebody's asking about Bountiful Vista. So there is a base that you can buy an outfit, and there's a whole series of missions that outfit that base, and then it gives you some passive revenue, and it's a little goofy, and it's fun, but we're not going to do it in this stream. We can't even barely touch anything in this 2-hour stream.
Destination reached.
This one has a bunch of turrets around it.
Just what I needed. A gaggle of shitheads.
I love hearing Lonnie say the word shitheads. I think that makes me a bad person.
There's too many for me.
So, the number of VO sessions that I have done, and the number of times that the word just shit appears by itself in the script and needs to be said with a different inflection is frankly ludicrous. The word shit as a single line has been recorded so many times by so many actors with so many different inflections. No, this is like the shit when you're driving over the cliff and you're holding onto the steering wheel like really hard. No, this is just the exhausted shit like it's the end of the day. Shit. This is why this stream is rated mature.
No! Look what we got here.
I accidentally hit the back button.
Juicy.
Starboard shields down.
Starboard shields down?
Score one.
Score one.
Aft shields down.
Hold together.
It's okay if we blow up again. It's a good way to end the stream, right? And then we got to give away some stuff. I said we were going to give away more stuff, so we're going to give away more stuff. I swear.
Forward shields down.
Somebody asked if I built the booth myself. No, this is a Studio Bricks booth. I ordered it from Spain? Spain.
Component heavily damaged.
Oh no, things are going very badly. I'm really not paying any attention now either. So let's just double down on that.
Missile inbound.
Perfect.
Now, little mammal.
Boom.
This is dry.
Ordnance depleted.
Oh, come on.
I ran into some junk. Alright, who do I need to kill? Oh, my display is going to crap.
Hope you like the cold, asshole.
Where are you? Oh, no. Alright, let's go to targeting mode and figure out who's shooting at me. Jackrabbit, that butt.
Forward shields down.
I deployed my countermeasures, but not soon enough. Oh, my poor maneuvering jets. Come on.
Iced him.
We did ice him. Alright, let's go scan this stupid dish. Stop shooting at me. Where's the dish? There it is. You can hear my tracer turret working away there on the bottom. Move around here. Oh, my poor ship. It's so slow now. Scan complete. Should we try and finish the whole we might as well try and finish the whole mission. Let's see what happens at the last nav point. There it is. Come on, get me just out of range of those turrets. The turrets don't have a very big range. There we go. Ah, so battered.
Autopilot disengaged by craft proximity.
At least, you know what? Whoever is bad here, leave me alone.
Hey, if we just put our guns away, nobody gets hurt.
Sorry, girl.
Oh, you butt. All right, we're just gonna speed up as much as we possibly can. It looks like the cops took them out anyway. Somebody asked if there's a repair bot you can buy. Yes, there is. I just don't happen to have one right now.
Autopilot disengaged by craft proximity.
What craft proximity? What are you? Oh, it's more cops. There's a bunch of cops in this system.
Autopilot disengaged by distress signal.
What's our Ender's song here? I do like this song.
Destination reached.
All right, our last thing. Is there nobody around? Are they gonna show up? If nobody's around, somebody's bound to show up, right? Just gonna come park here until somebody shows up and shoots at us. Hopefully nobody does, though. As we mentioned way earlier in this stream, these are all templates, so they kind of recombine different elements. I'm not really sure what you're gonna get, but all scans complete. There we go. Now you can see when I was talking about how the reticle on the center of the screen reflects your loadout. You can see on the very far right side, they've got that little missile launcher with an X through it. That means it's fully out of ordnance. All right. And I said we were going to jump through something. Let's jump through something. We'll go ahead and jump through this gate, just so that we're jumping.
Autopilot disengaged by hostiles.
I don't want to shoot you. No. We're gonna...
I swear, we just got off on the wrong foot here.
Indeed. Let us withdraw.
For once, somebody lets me go. All right, let's jump. And jump to New Mexico.
There's plenty more locked and loaded. Red candy here. Rock on.
Oh, who's shooting me?
Lucky the Buckshot's Armadillo here. Where do you go to get mouth-watering homes?
Oh, it's an inviolate. So these are like religious nuts that think that the jump gates are tearing apart God's creation, and they are. It's just nobody cares.
Inbound.
Farm on Lubbock, but the real secret is season. People say to me, don't you find it a little disturbing to advocate for your own species? The answer is...
Yeah, welcome to New Mexico, where we shoot you in the butt when you arrive. That sounds just about right, doesn't it? And with that, the stream is over.
Pick up a 16-piece bucket or a ditto. Remember, it's a sure shot.
You can turn tail or taste space. Your choice.
Oh, hey, a merchant just arrived, too. So the merchants do all have traffic throughout the systems.
I think that's the last of them.
All right. Perfect. All right. Die by the weapons you adore. Damn straight. All right, we're going to go ahead and go dock on Hobbs, which is actually named after Hobbs, New Mexico, not Hobbs from Wing Commander, if you're wondering.
Oh, you're making a big mistake.
Nuh-uh. I'm just going to drop my cargo.
I'm dropping my cargo. Just take it and back off.
I suppose. Maybe just this once. we might fly on by one another.
Phew.
It's the perfect time to end this. Oh, come on, folks. More in violets? Jeez.
By hostiles. Forward
Oh, this
shields
doesn't
down.
have to go bad. We can all back away.
The clemency of the Lord of the Inviolate is bestowed.
Oh, thank goodness.
Missile inbound.
The religious crazy lets me out.
Destination reached.
Who is it that flies so good? Are you insane? Sorry.
Dodge Sector Traffic Control, your request is granted. Please proceed.
Hellconey, yes, like a demon rabbit. Exactly like a demon rabbit. With sharp little pointy teeth. Love that Durston. Look at that mining laser just parked there on top. Alright, so here we are. We'll repair ourselves just because I can't help it. We'll roll into the bar and let's run our last giveaway, yeah? Yeah. Alright, here we go. As soon as I can move my mouse over to my other monitor. And there it goes. Announces run. Type loot. Rack 'em up. So this first one is going to be for a Buckshots shirt. Like the one I'm wearing. $72 entries. $77. Is this gonna hit 100? I don't know. I'm waiting until like at least 2 seconds pass before loot appears on my chat screen. Doot. Somebody said doot. I don't think that's gonna put you in the thing though. You should retype it with an L. Although I do like doot as a matter of principle. 84.
This quality merchandise for such unbeatable prices. That's right, Jimmy McKinnon feigns ignorance and passes the savings on to you. Just outside of Austin.
Jimmy sent ya. All right, that seems like a good stop. Let's do it. All right, so the first two for Buckshots t-shirts are Spader Ninja 9 and Market DF. Thanks for hanging out. And let's do two more. These are going to be, again, for Buckshots cap. Armadillo Tank and Dark X Gladiator. You have now won a Buckshots cap. For all of you who are winning loot, you need to whisper Rebel Galaxy Eric with your email information so that he can send this stuff to you. Oh, man. People are still doing loot. It's already closed, man. All right, so we'll go a little bit longer. I'm going to do the nether poster, and then we'll do one more round, okay, for anybody who's looting now and it's not working. All right. All right. A. Johnston, 1439, and Iceberg. Hi, Iceberg. This is going to be a coyote poster, a blueprint poster. It's fabulous. It's too large for anything in your house, so you're probably going to roll it up and put it in a corner, but that's okay. All right. I'm going to close out this one, and then I'm going to create a new giveaway. And we're going to do one more round because there was so much pound loot coming through after the fact. It's dealer's choice, though. It's whatever the hell I want to give away. Eric just said, what the fuck? So, I'm sorry about that, Eric. But we had 25 entries within like 5 seconds. We're going to do one more shirt. I'm going to call it in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Lord Byron 2013. Wow, that's actually a pretty cool handle. And Dot Theory. We're going to give out one more Buckshots shirt, this one without the text logo across the bottom. And then we're done. We're calling it. All right. So I'm going to take a very, very short, brief period of time. Is Eric, are you saying I can't deliver this? How can I not deliver this? I can't type, so I don't know what you want from me. What am I promising that I can't deliver? I'm asking Eric, because I don't know. Eric says he's already lost. All right, so I'm gonna try and clean this up. If you were selected for giveaways and you have no idea what the hell is up, I need you to whisper Eric right now. Sorry, Eric. I had to be on the camera for 2 hours and I'm sweating like a pig and I'm not wearing any pants, so. If you have not whispered Eric saying, I won the thing, you should do that right now. R.I.P. Eric's whispered. Everybody just said random things. I said the names out, man. So. All right, so while we're sorting this out, do you have any questions about stuff that I wasn't able to answer while I was shooting dudes in the face? Now's a great time. The pants giveaway. If there's not going to be a pants giveaway, you can't have my pants. I need them back. Somebody asked if the original Rebel Galaxy is done. Yes, it is done. I'm not going back to it. It's been a long time. I can't even stand to look at it anymore. We're not going to be doing DLC or additions to it. I mean, there's only 5 of us. We can only really do one thing at a time, honestly. Eric, worst case, we can go back and look for people's names and try and figure it out. Some of these people tweet me all the time, so I'll be able to find them. Somebody asked why I look like Tony Hawk. I think that you are blind, because I don't think I look anything like Tony Hawk. It's more of a... You know, people mostly say I look like the dude from Game of Thrones, which I also don't see. I have a face for radio. A simple version of the tool for PS4 for painting. Sorry, there's not going to be any painting tool for any console version. It's just way beyond anything I can do. Apart from just the interface challenges, where does it get stored? This stuff is just far beyond what I can figure out. Somebody's asking about early streaming. Yes, our plan is to do early streaming. It's slightly more complicated, but because we're launching on a new platform, and we have to figure out how to make that work, because we have a DRM-free game, but that is the plan. We're just trying to figure out how to do it. Favorite feature of RGO? Favorite feature? Oh, man. Honestly, it's got to be the auto pursuit. I think it's just like a big deal, and I think people worry about it, and they're like, oh my god, is this going to make the game too easy? And it doesn't. It just makes the game more enjoyable, because from my perspective, most old space sims are held down by the fact that you spend most of your time trying to get somebody on screen, and then by the time you do get them on screen, they've changed direction, and then you're just trying to pursue them again. The amount of time you spend just trying to dial in your shot and feel good about shooting somebody is very small in most space sims. And I think that this solves that in a way that is satisfying and doesn't remove skill from it, so that's my favorite feature. Somebody's asking about how far behind the PC release is the console release. So I try and keep the console releases in parity. The main hurdle is they have to be certified and they have to be QA'd separately, and it's just too hard to focus on that while we're shipping the PC version. So it's basically just as soon as we can do it after we ship on PC. Also, I'm the only engineer, so all tech support for all of our builds is me, and at this point I just can't conceive of trying to do the consoles and the PC at the same time. I think I would die. Someone's asking if the Coyote is an end game ship. I mean, it's certainly a later game ship. We want most of the ships to be viable, though, throughout the entire game. You can kind of think of them more as like character classes than like a linear progression of ships that you need to go through in order to complete the game. Somebody's asking what kind of gamepad do you recommend? I mean, I just use an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One gamepad. You can also use a PS4 gamepad if you want to, if you use DS4 Win. And we have a checkbox on the launcher that lets you switch it to use PS4 button art, if that's your deal. What engine is this running on? This is the most messed up, reworked version of Ogre 3D, which is nothing. It's its own thing at this point. It's not like anything else. It's probably not going to live past this game. It's been just completely reworked to do what we're doing here, and probably is not applicable to anything else. Can we get a squid hat in-game? I'm afraid not. This is a special squid hat, which only I get. I believe my daughter got this at the local aquarium. Let's see. Space garbage truck the whole game. I'd like you to be able to finish it. It'll be hard, though. It'll be hard. But I don't think impossible. Most people are better game players than me anyway. Does the starting options only change the auto pursuit and gun gimbling, or does it also change AI? It does not change AI or other difficulty settings. It is purely based on your input and, for the casual version, the starting gear that you get when you start the game. So the AI doesn't get harder, but I guarantee you, if you do not have flight assist and aim assist, it's going to be a lot harder. Will pirates have their own special ships? The pirates all have their own special ships. Each different faction of pirates has their own cool ships that Howie made for them. Will this have ultra-wide support? Yes, it does. Eric plays an ultra-wide. Is it an evolved version of the Torchlight engine? It's not really the Torchlight engine. It's more the Ogre engine. It has some bits of the other thing, but it really doesn't resemble anything else at this point. It made massive transitions in any number of ways, from 64-bit precision for the exterior stuff to the fact that it's all PBR-based rendering at this point. It just doesn't resemble it at all anymore. Yeah, if you think you saw the hat of the Seattle Aquarium, that's because this hat is from the Seattle Aquarium. What is next on the drawing board? We have no idea. Try not to think that far ahead. FOV slider and ultra-wide support. There's no FOV slider, but there's ultra-wide support. Will the alien races play a bigger part in faction action? No. The alien races are more... They're not really factions this time out. They're just people in the mix. It's less... you don't, like, fight against the Greel or fight against the Quarian. It's less divided in that way. This is, like, closer to Earth, and there are less aliens overall represented, and they're just kind of more part of the general population. What do I want as a mod in the future that I'm not able to do myself? Linear campaign missions. So one thing that the mods allow is that if you want, you can assemble linear campaigns that are just missions in sequence that are not part of the open world, and you can just set whatever ships and stuff. I did some early tests just porting some X-Wing missions to make sure it worked and did what I wanted it to do. So that'll be one of the things that you can do with mod kits. If I don't want to use autopilot, can I slow fly in a system between planets? Yes, you can, and it would take a very long time, but it's all contiguous and it's all there, so it would just be exceptionally slow. But it's not fakery in getting from place to place. All that stuff is in between, and you can go on the map and zoom in to any point and see what's there. Hey, you guys doing all right? 5 folks isn't a huge crew? No, it's not, but the last game was only 2, so we've more than doubled in size. Look at our increase. Will there be an unlock frame rate? I mean, you can just run it not VSynced if you want. Death Star Trench Run, God knows. I have no idea if you could pull that off. Many quiet moments in game are just non-stop action. We kind of let you have your quiet moments, so that's why we have things like being able to play arcade games and pool and dice poker, and to be able to do things like mining and trading. We want you to be able to just chill and do other stuff and then have that punctuated by action based on what you feel like doing at the time. And honestly, I think the soundtrack really figures in very well to that, because it kind of sets the mood for what you're doing, and the number of times that I have chosen what I am going to do right now based on the soundtrack is actually relatively high. All right, what are we looking at? Say you want to put the Coca-Cola Bear's Santa on the side of a curtain space buck for a gag. Will that get flagged at print as a no-no due to copyright? No, you can put whatever you want on a print. It's cool. Also, nobody's asked, but I'm sure somebody probably did ask. The lion's share of our soundtrack, we paid extra to do in-context usage rights, which means that if you stream with the radio on, you won't get flagged. There's a chunk of those tracks where we were unable to secure that for, and you'll be able to click a checkbox on the launcher that says just filter those tracks out if you're streaming, so that you won't have to worry about copyright strikes. Just an FYI. Someone asked, can fighters have beam lasers? At present, the only way that your fighter can have beam lasers is with a mining laser, which you can forward mount, or with a mining turret. In general, because the heading changes so much, lasers aren't anywhere near as effective as they were in the previous game. So just your turn rates are not as high as we allowed turrets to be in Rebel Galaxy. When damaged in battle, will you be able to lose equipment completely, or it'll always be repelled? No, it can get completely blown off. You'll hear a component destroyed, and it will just go away. Also, the more you repair equipment, the more fragile it gets. So if you have a piece around for a long period of time, it gets more and more worn and is more likely to be blown up. Also, your ship weathers, and you'll actually see the paint weather over time based on how much damage you've incurred and how many times you've repaired. Hi, somebody's in Bothell. Hi, Bothell. Someone asked, will the religious folks in RGO play a big part in the game? They actually have kind of more of a minor role. They are part of the main storyline, but not in a massive way. They're more just kind of like part of the flavor of the world. Somebody asked how much the 3D printed ships cost, and that's based entirely on the amount of material required to print them. So when you click the button to upload your ship, it'll show you a little 3D spinning model of your ship with your paint job on it, and you'll have basically a selector for your size, and it will show you the cost based on the size. And that's a function of the shape of the ship, how much material is required to make it, how hollow it is inside. We do drainage holes in the bottom so that more material comes out so they aren't so massy. Anyway, that's how that works. Have you got the equivalent as a tachyon gun in Privateer? We might actually have a tachyon gun. I don't remember. We might have renamed it. We have a mass driver, though, which is my favorite from Privateer. Can landing gear get damaged? Someone asks. No, you're always able to land. What company is making the 3D ships? Someone asks. It was Fabzat, but they were purchased by a company called Squip, and so that's who is doing it. Or they were renamed to Squip after they were purchased. I'm not exactly sure how that works out. The Coyote model, somebody's asking how much the gigantic Coyote model from earlier costs. I don't actually know because we didn't get it through them. We got it through someone else. It would be a significant amount of money, more than $100. You know, more like 200 or something. I don't know. It would be, you know, if you get something that's like the size of the palm of your hand, you're looking at more like, you know, $40, $50, 40 to 60. It really depends a lot on the mass. The big jobby, that's a lot of material. Will there be a game forum page created? We were planning to, we just haven't got around to it. And we got to get somebody to mod it. Yeah, if you really want to print your own spaceships and you've got a 3D printer for some reason, we'll just give you the OBJs. We'll just put them up for download. And then that'll be the ones that are closed volumes and are built for being printed.
Oh, just look at them wing panels. This gonna cost me an arm.
Can modders make their own ships from scratch? Yes, you will be able to do that. We're going to release the exporters for 3D Studio Max. Our current exporters are for Max 2018, although we could probably just grab the SDKs for a few other adjacent versions and compile them for those as well. Anything I don't want modded into the game, I don't care. It's mods, whatever. As long as I don't have to moderate it, I'm good. Somebody, Zid, you're asking about the model. Yeah, we'll just make the OBJs available, so if you want to do whatever you want with them, you can do that. Somebody's asking about where the mods will be uploaded. When we initially release it, it's not like we're going to have some mod repository. It's just going to be whatever. Sorry, we don't have the resources to build a mod repository. It's just what it'll be for then. It's going to be months before the mod kit comes out. I'm not going to do it. It's not going to happen within the first month. The first month will be me on fire running around in circles. Then we've got to get those console versions out, and I'll probably be working on it adjacent to that, you know. And then it'll be as soon as I can make it happen. The long term, the Epic Store is planning to have mod support, so eventually there will be some way to do that. I just don't know what it is yet. Somebody's asking how big, expensive the DLC packages we're planning. We're not going to do any pay DLC. We're going to release some free stuff over the following year. We want to do some spaceships, some buddy characters, some side missions, but we have no plans to do paid DLC. Anything we put out will just be free. Somebody's asking about VR support again. We're not going to do VR support. There's a couple reasons for that. One, it makes me sick. Two, most of the game modes don't function well in VR. Things like pool and conversations. You just end up making a totally different game. And a lot of the scenes simply don't have the parts that you would have to be able to turn around and see. So it's actually kind of a significant investment in something that makes me want to throw up while I'm building it. Somebody's asking what my Twitter handle is. At Rebel Galaxy is the main Rebel Galaxy. I'm at Twin Stick Games. Somebody's asking about if the mod tools allow total conversions. Yes, you can do whatever the hell you want. If you've seen some of our April Fool's videos, you'll see why. You can change solar systems, planets, characters, conversations, ships, components, missions, everything. Somebody's asking if we're going to do like a Patreon for DLC. No, we don't need any like supplements for it. You know, we'll live on selling the game. No worries. Somebody asked whether this game will be coming out before Star Citizen. I assume so. I'm fairly certain. I don't mean that in a mean way, but... Feels like the questions are running down. Where can I buy a USS JPEG at kickstartmymansion.com? That's right, we did get that URL, didn't we? Why did we go with the Epic Games Store? Well, lots of reasons, more than I can probably articulate here. One, I really like and respect the guys at Epic. And the idea of being behind an initiative that changes the royalty rate for all game developers long term is pretty attractive. And I mean, there's a lot of things that went into the decision. It wasn't a snap decision, but we're pleased with it, and we really like the people that we work with there. Somebody asked about assuming there will be systems to travel to. So you probably came in late on the stream, but there are 39 systems, and it doesn't take time to travel between them. You go to a jump gate and you jump, and it's an instantaneous transition. Travel time in this, unless you want it to exist, is relatively brief. You can travel in a slower way at sublight within a system, but that's optional. When will the MMO DLC come out? I am never making an MMO for the rest of my life. I can guarantee it. I really don't want to operate a service. Yes, my hat is fabulous. You're welcome. How easy is it to make a custom ship with the mod tools? I mean, it really just gets down to, how capable are you at 3D modeling? Because 3D modeling is the main aspect of it. Actually outfitting the ship is not difficult. We'll be releasing our editing tools, which let you place hard points and engines and where the pilot sits inside of the cockpit and that kind of stuff. That's not actually very difficult to do. Neither is the data file that lets you specify things like your turn rate and your base afterburner and yada, yada, yada. That's not very complicated. It's really just down to the model. Can you make a 3D model? And if the answer to that is yes, then it's not that big of a deal to add a ship. Will there be achievements trophies? So at some point here, relatively soonish, I don't know what the roadmap is, the Epic Store will have achievements and we'll implement them at that point. And then when it comes out on Steam later, and obviously on PS4 and Switch, we'll have achievements. Will there be support for Blender for the mod tools? No, there will not. I'm not planning to make a Blender plugin. I can barely use Blender. I'm sorry. It's just not in the cards. Any ships in the game that are basically a big gun? Not exactly. Not really. There's lots of well-armed ships, but in terms of ship customization, will we be able to alter things like HUD lights, weapon colors, similar to Elite Dangerous? Not as part of like the game itself. If you want to mod that, yes, but there's not like HUD sliders. They're all manufacturer specific for the ship, and we're not customizing in-game to that level. Would it be possible to print the capital ships with the inbuilt Photoshop 3D printing thing? Not initially. There's a lot of features that I turned off for the 3D Paint program, which allows you to import FBX files and even do things like normal painting because they weren't applicable to the game. Maybe long term we'll do that, but I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not sure what the interface would be for doing that yet. We would have to think about that, and it's hard for me to imagine it until after we ship. Did the Switch not have achievements? I thought they had something. I'm the worst about achievements. I never care about achievements, so I do them because I gotta do them. Do I play EVE Online? I'm afraid not. It's never been the game for me. I respect what they're doing, but it's not my particular style of gameplay. Are there cutscenes in the game? I mean, there's cutscenes in this. There's the intro cutscene, which is fully animated by Titmouse, and the only other cutscenes are all conversation and like in-flight cutscenes, which are back and forths of dialogue. So there's not like any other big cinematic cutscenes that are going to show up later. Any chance of the painting tool to be made for sale to the public? I mean, I thought about it. I have it separated out as a separate tool, but honestly, I really don't want to be in the tool business and I don't want to support it. So I don't know. Somebody said drinking whiskey, but my whiskey's empty. Although I guess I have a bottle now, but that's just enabling myself. How long do we think the main storyline is? We don't actually know, and it's very variable because it depends on how you spend your time playing the game. And you can't just blow through it straight. You have to do a certain amount of side work to accrue money to be able to survive because you simply need equipment and you need to be able to repair it. Brian Rubin from Space Band Junkie is like I feel like he's maybe at like the third of the waypoint, and he's been playing for 20-something hours. The last time Eric played to the halfway point, it was like 50 hours, but he was taking notes, so it's hard to say. I mean, it's going to be more than a 30-hour game, but I don't know. It's so variable based on how you play. What will we make? Someone asked what we will make next. We really don't know. Can we be space truckers? Yes, you can be space truckers. In fact, you can fly around in your space semi and haul stuff and mine stuff and listen to country on the radio and stare at your picture of, Bart Reynolds on the wall. Does the game simply end, or can you continue playing? You continue playing. So there is a story end, and after the story end, you're just back in the game. You can just keep doing what you were doing. Did I say country? So I don't know when people came into the stream. There's 7 radio stations. There's a kind of a blues rock station. There's a classical station. There's a country station. There's kind of like a pop EDM station. There's a metal station. There's a Latin station. And then there's kind of like a big band eclectica station. And total music for all of those is getting close to 24 hours. Is it a freelancer type like game? Yes, but even more closer to Privateer, which is like the predecessor to Freelancer. Did we use some of the same bands as last time? Yes, you'll find some Blue Saraceno and some Blue News in here as well, but lots of new bands too. So what's the deal with the jump gates? I don't remember there being any jump gate issues in the original game. I retcon however I feel like it. That's how. Anyway, maybe they fixed those problems. Or maybe those problems are responsible for the fact that aliens were tearing through space and invading them. So maybe it's all part of my plan. The first title had custom music, making a comeback. Yes, more so. So you have 2 avenues for custom music in this game. You can customize the ambient and dynamic soundtrack, which is what is used when radio is off, but you can also add a mixtape channel, and you just point it to a folder, and it will make your own radio station that you can switch to in flight with whatever you want. Can you bebop like a cowboy? Well, there is a station called Backbeat, whose call letters are SBBP, which has big band and kind of Dick Dale surf kind of stuff, and like 5, 6, 7, 8 sort of music. Someone asks, can you fail a storyline mission and derail the plot? You can fail a storyline mission, but it doesn't derail the plot. It will kick you back to a previous mission, and then you re-pick it up and continue forward, if you feel like it. Otherwise, you can just ignore the main story and just go be a space pirate. Can you play in windowed? Yes, you can. Can you play in 5866 1080? You should be able to. We've been playing it. It's been played 4K and wide, ultra wide, and crazy resolution. So you should be fine. And so you can do windowed, full screen, or full screen. Can we have sirens on our ships? Well, I guess you could mod them in. Any plans for a mobile companion app? Nope. Nope. Again, I'm the only engineer. You know what? We're just doing... You're gonna have to stare at my actual face now. There we go. We're not really doing anything but listening to music. Hi, everybody. Cloaking? No, there's no cloaking. Not in this game, anyway. Someone asks, can you hire mercenaries? We don't do mercenaries this time out. We have a buddy system, and the characters unlock as you progress through the game, and then you can call them up, and they function like mercenaries, and they can be directed, but you don't have to hire them. And there's 6 of those. And most of them have side mission chains that you can also do. Any plans to hire new engineers? Nope. Will Steve return? No, Steve's not in this game, although there is a robot named Satchel, who I like even more than Steve. He has duct tape over one eye. Can you get smuggling compartments? Yes, you can get a smuggler's hold. Why Ogre? Inertia, familiarity, the ability to do things quickly because I know where everything is. It doesn't much resemble Ogre at this point anymore, I think relatively obviously, but it's more just... It's like having a workshop organized the way you want it to. You know exactly where the hammer is. Are there any FPS elements outside the spaceship? No. There is all station-side stuff is this sort of third-person, like, scene transition where your character's represented, but you don't walk around freely. It's just way outside the scope of our game to do anything besides that. Also, I don't really like the pacing of that. I don't actually want to walk down a hall over and over and over again. I just don't care. I want to get to the things that I want to do, and it's kind of... I'm old. I don't have time for that. Any in-atmosphere missions? No, there's no atmospheric flight. More guilds coming. Nope, it's just going to be merchants and mercenaries. Mods, easy to add new ships. I answered that one a little bit earlier, so I'm just going to say kick back just to... If you watch this later, just kick back a few minutes and you'll see it. How many ships in the game? Well... They're flyable ships or other ships, because there's a lot of ships in the game, but there's only so many flyable ships. Largely because they're immensely more complex than they were in Rebel Galaxy. Every ship here has the ship itself, an animated version with all of its articulated landing gear and its landing and takeoff animations for various different locations, an interior cockpit that's all custom, multifunction displays that are unique by manufacturer for that ship that take a lot of work to implement, and all of your cockpit animations for your character's hands doing stuff in the cockpit. So it's about 20 times more complex than any of the ships that we added in the previous Rebel Galaxy. The upside of that is that all the ships are way more unique to fly, whereas in Rebel Galaxy they were just kind of bricks with different turrets bolted onto the sides. 250 ships. Howie, you just saying nasty stuff. 250 ships? Make sure you qualify that into, like, paint job variants and all the other stuff. Any anti-cap ship torps that take ages to lock but kill it in one shot? I don't think there's any one-shot cap ship killers. Just dumbfires, and dumbfires is probably going to be your biggest cap ship threat. This hat is fabulous. It's just gonna look at me. This is gonna be the best stream of all time. This hat. So some of the ships will only be available in Bountiful Vista after you complete the mission to add your custom ship dealer garage. Bountiful Vista is located in the Eureka system, and it's an old mining prospect that didn't pan out. And there's a robot that's been trying to sell it for like 100 years, and you can buy it. And once you do, he has lots of ideas about how to upgrade the base. So as you upgrade it, there are some benefits that you get from that. You get, a few unique equipment variants in the equipment bay that you install there. There are ship variants that you'll be able to get there. You get passive income from a bar once you add a bar, that kind of thing. And then the base interior changes. You start out sitting in a lawn chair drinking beer off the floor with a robot standing next to you, and you slowly get more stuff built up in there, and some people appear. Someone asked, can you own multiple ships concurrently? No, you cannot. We just never figured out a way that felt okay to manage that. Where's my ship? Is it like 10 solar systems away? But there's no cash penalty. There's no off-the-lot depreciation for your ships. So if you want to try one out, it's not a financial hit to try it out and then kick back. Can you find equipment during battle? Mostly we don't do equipment during battle. We really do. It's mostly resources that you can then sell. You get equipment from games of chance and from pool, but not from like crates floating around.
Hey, don't change the dial, ladies and gents. Red Candy here, and I've got a shitload of great music coming your way. This is The Grinder.
It's Susan Dalian again. She's awesome. Will there be major threats in the universe like the Borg from Star Trek? No, there are not. This game there's kind of some big stuff going on above you, but for the most part, you don't care about it. This is more like Chinatown, where, these people are doing this stuff, but you're focused on this kind of lower. You're focused on your own problems. It's not about saving the world or saving the universe or a big alien invasion. It just does not care about any of that. So it might not go the places that you expect it to go story-wise. Easter eggs to find. I mean, there's definitely some Easter eggs. Can you go to Earth? No, you cannot go to Earth. No trips to old Earth. If there's a trade-in penalty on damage, yes, it does. If you are selling a ship that is damaged in the power core, you'll lose a little bit. But because most of the damage is done to components that are transferred to the ship, it doesn't actually matter because it will just move the damaged components to the new ship. Will there be a way to save different equipment loadouts? Nope. No, they're not doing like equipment templates. When did we start working on this game? I feel like it was maybe a year after Rebel Galaxy. We were going to do a totally different game first. The 6 months after were like recovery and getting out console versions and just trying to be alive. And then we were working on a game that was called 10,000 Monsters, which was a physics-based pinball dice RPG with figurines, which is where the 3D painting tool actually came in. And then somewhere during the development of that, I was just like, it would be really cool. You know what? I'm not as fed up with Rebel Galaxy anymore. It would be cool to be able to fly a fighter and a cap ship. So for a brief period of time, what became Rebel Galaxy Outlaw was cap ship and fighter flight, and you could switch between the two. But ultimately, it was too annoying. because for the cap ship combat to be satisfying, there needed to be that kind of planar element where you could line up with people for doing broadsides, which made the fighter combat feel weird because all of the cap ships it becomes very apparent how that's distributed. And then the other problem is that once you introduce a story, it's very strange for you to be the captain of a giant spaceship and also a fighter, and resolving that and having anything that isn't totally abstracted just felt wrong. So instead we just did straight up cockpit stuff again. Because we kind of wanted to do that last time, but there was all these other cockpit games coming out and we didn't want to compete with them. But none of them are really doing what we're doing, so yeah. Imagine someone goes all out with modding and completely recreates the Battle of Yavin 4. I mean, I want to see it. Go for it. Can you repair the components from wear and tear damage? So each different component has a different fragility. So some weapons behind the scenes, especially ones that we think are particularly awesome, are a little more fragile than others. You can't repair that wear and tear over time without just replacing them completely. Part of that is because we want there's just these cool moments that you get in these games where things go wrong and then you recover from them. There's just no feeling quite like going into a battle, losing your favorite gun, not being able to turn left, somehow surviving with no ordnance left, and then limping back into a station with sparks shooting everywhere and saying, I survived. It's super, I love that feeling, and I want that feeling to happen. So most of the degradation of equipment is designed to eventually evoke that. It's not supposed to be constantly cumbersome, like I'm losing my guns all the time. It's just supposed to give you that moment sometimes. Can you find rare exotic components? So the only really rare, there's some stuff that you get as part of missions that is specific, that can't be replaced, but also doesn't degrade. And is not fragile, so it can't be destroyed. I don't really want to mess with that in this stream. And then there are some special variants of the weapons that you can get in Bountiful Vista after you upgrade it a bit. I'm going on vacation on Wednesday and I have a long-ass flight. Can you recommend a good space sci-fi book for me to read? Oh, man. All the stuff I read, I have to read out loud these days. Maybe Howie's got a... Yeah, Howie says, "We are Bob." Read that. There is only one irreplaceable weapon, but it can't be destroyed. What is the most playable game in this genre right now? I mean, I would assume that it's probably Elite Dangerous. I mean, in the broad sense of the genre, they are heading in a very different direction than we are, obviously. But they've got just a very tasty flight model. It's really enjoyable to fly around in Elite Dangerous. Will the console releases be only digital or will it be physical? Currently, there's only plans for digital. And folks, it's getting close to 9, so we probably ought to wrap this up. So we'll take the last couple questions. Thank you all. And we'll sign off for the night. We went an hour over. That's a good overlap, right? How confident are you that someone who completely sucks at playing FPS with a gamepad would still be able to do very well in this game with a gamepad? I think you're going to be okay. I think that the auto pursuit trigger is kind of a big deal and makes this game playable for almost anyone. That doesn't mean you won't initially have like some adjustment as you try and figure it out, but I think it's kind of a game-changing thing. I don't want to oversell it, but I think it's really actually really important and works. I guess we'll see. Thanks a lot, everybody. Seems like we've rolled down to the end. I really appreciate everybody showing up. I had a really good time. I hope you did too. I hope you'll forgive me for my bumbles making it back to mining. And you know what I love? I love streaming and not having the game crash at all. It's super great. So, have a fantastic night, everyone. And we'll see you again soonish, hopefully. Take care.